with a quick and easy zero-cost cash-out refi with zero closing costs. With a VA loan, it's really cool because you can access up to 100% of your home's value. Use that money to pay off credit cards, home equity lines, car loans, consolidate all your payments into one check per month, and close in 2 weeks. Most homeowners who do this end up cutting their overall monthly payments by $800. Loan Pronto's all-digital process makes it fast and easy. They're doing loans with super low APRs, and they love working with veterans. Call now to see what your options are. Call Loan Pronto at 999-1508. That's 904-999-1508. Or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Brian Wall here. Would you take your paycheck, go to the bank, cash it, and then simply throw it up in the air? I didn't think so. But in a way, over the years, that is exactly what you're doing if you have old or builder-grade windows in your home. Even if you have a brand new home, those windows are not the best windows you can have to save on your energy bills. Window World has sold millions of replacement windows to homeowners like you, and Window World's customer satisfaction is the highest in the business. Please check Window World out yourself and save on your new windows and on your energy bills. Compare with other companies and you'll see Window World is simply the best for less. It's up to you. You can call Window World and get a free estimate, get the best guarantee in the window replacement business, save money on your new windows, and save more on your energy bills. Call Window World today at 904-443-7001 or go online to windowworldneflorida.com. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. Youth sports are getting back into full swing, so you know what that means. Custom Yetis so dads can keep their beer or sodas cold. Check them out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
SportsForecaster.com has all the data you need to project tomorrow's winners. Register for free and track the performance of all your favorite players and teams, including all your fantasy team picks and prospects. Sports Forecaster has the most detailed player profiles on the web, precise depth charts, every transaction, every injury, every news update. No ranting or raving, no preening or barstool bluster. At SportsForecaster.com, you get the timely info you need for every game. SportsForecaster.com. Sign up for free today.
Attention golfers, Hidden Hills Golf Club has become an attractive destination for golfers all over North Florida. You too will enjoy our classic Arnold Palmer design that'll test your game and keep you coming back. Book a tee time today at hiddenhillsgc.com.
Hey, it's Tony from Tony D's Pizza. If you love our pizza and pasta dishes, let us cater an event for you. Family function or office parties, we can deliver you an amazing Italian meal. Remember, it's not just pizza at Tony D's. Bay Meadows in $2.95.
Did you know that all graduates of Local 234's apprenticeship program are licensed journeymen? That means all plumbers, pipe fitters, welders, and HVAC techs will have hundreds of hours of experience and have passed the Jacksonville City Licensed Journeyman exam. They're the best trained and safest skilled tradespeople in the industry. Don't leave yourself exposed to inadequate workmanship or even danger. Always hire a licensed journeyman. Local 234. Make the right connection. Equal opportunity employer.
This is your 1010XL local sports update brought to you by First Coast Honda Dealers. I'm Dylan Denmark. John Oster joined Jaguars today and was asked about how he thinks the offensive line will play out this season.
My gut feeling is it would be Walker Little moving or possibly Walker moving to guard for the remainder of the season. That feels to me like it makes the most sense because you want to get your best five out there, and I think it would be tougher to move Cam inside just because he's in his 8th year. I mean, and so much can change, obviously, before that date. You can have injuries, guys playing a little bit. Right now, I would think that's how it plays out. But I don't know that I'm sitting here saying, hey, I'm 99% sure that's how it plays out.
Catch that interview in full by heading over to 1010XL.com. At 12:02, it's 87 degrees. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Attention. Attention.
They are not ready for prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time. That's the name.
Prime time.
Prime time. What time is it? Showtime. Prime time.
It's XL Prime Time, featuring Joe C.
Son of a gun.
Matt Hayes.
His balls are different in person.
Mia O'Brien.
I don't know what they're doing.
And Leon Searcy.
Bringing you love, peace, and soul.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Monday has arrived. The weekend probably came to an abrupt halt, but whatever. We're getting cleats in the grass. We're going to get them on the grass this week. Training camps opening up everywhere, and the Jaguars are going to be part of it. That's right. A little celebration is in order. Now, the only people that probably aren't celebrating this, Leon, are the ones that are actually getting on the grass, okay? But all of us, we're jacked, we're fired up, we're ready to go. We already have a handful of training camps that are opened up in other NFL cities, but it's time to get it on in Duval as we get rolling on a Monday. All right, we're going to get into everything. Welcome in XL Primetime. We've got our beautiful new studio setup, which Matt Hayes is trying to get used to.
Yeah, he's trying to get comfortable.
Have we sold this yet?
Brand new chairs, bro.
Yeah, I know, bro. Look.
Yeah, I like it.
No more the hacker chair. You remember how you used to avoid the hacker chair all the time?
Yeah.
You used to sit in there, had to get rid of it.
And I did
comfortable
tell
chairs.
I did tell the interns, the youngsters that were putting the chairs together. I said, look, these need to be highly rated. Okay, there's some poundage in this studio.
The queen of the building, by the way, took care of the new chairs.
Yeah.
Also, the carpet on the ground.
Oh yeah,
which,
yeah.
of course,
Nice
she
little
classed it up a little bit.
Teal splash carpet.
Yeah,
But we decided not to get the big and tall chairs. That was an option.
Yeah.
It was a little more expensive, and I said maybe we should have gotten at least a couple.
Yeah, because Tom Champion is witness to what Leon can do to a remote chair. He is witness to that.
True.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love these
I bring
chairs.
the poundage. I bring the poundage. Now, I'm going to say something. Listen, I love the rug. I love the design. I love the contour of the rug. But I've already slipped on it twice. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out who's going to take the tumble first. It won't be the big fella because I'm still an athlete.
Yeah.
But I've already tripped on the rug twice. Just want to let you know.
Because it's not
on.
Because it's not tamped down to the
No,
carpet,
just because I don't lift my feet as well as I used to.
I was gonna say, I would say Hack's
it.
probably a candidate for that, but he's a shuffle feet guy
He
too.
is a shuffle feet guy.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
But I
Only
love
time
it. I love the contour.
Only time he lifts his feet is when he's posing. That's it.
That is true.
That's
Absolutely.
That is it.
Yes.
I was outside.
Just one, though. Just one foot.
Well, I was outside with our buddy Jamie from Beaver Chevy. He's dropping off a ride that we're going to tool up to Charlotte in for the ACC kickoff, and he's got a couple inches on me, and I found myself, I almost went with the hacker step, to get up there just a little bit.
Don't do it.
I know. I fought it off. It off. All right, so Mia on vacation today and tomorrow. We are on our way. Me, Rick Ballou, Spielberg, which is the Graham Cam, as we will have all sorts of things happening with the ACC kickoff. It's a 3-day deal. So we came out of the SEC Media Days from last week, ACC kickoff beginning tomorrow through Thursday up in Charlotte. So I'll be heading up in just a little bit. Coach Campo will be heading in just a little bit to join you guys as we get ready for training camp. And, we're going to talk about everything else that's going on. But, Leon, this is, even though maybe a vet doesn't need to get out on the field until later in the week, you wake up on Monday, it's work week.
Yeah, you do. You do. I mean, the rookies report today. And as much as I like this new day and age training camp because I can't wait for it, I love the smell in the air, the grass and the heat and all that kind of stuff. There's no stress, man, Joe Coward. There's no stress. There's no stress for the rookies. I mean,
No.
I know. When I say stress, I mean like something to keep them up at night, like a conditioning test or something that they have to do condition-wise.
16-1
to kind of initiate them into the NFL experience. I had to experience, a lot of the players back in my day had to experience, but no, they get to wander in here with their bags and put them up and lay and lounge and read a book and just, kind of wait for practice to start, which I don't like, but that's me being the old man in my yard. But I am happy that football is back. And when you know that the rookies report first, football is back. And the veterans come in on in a couple of days or whatever. So the rookies are now getting themselves acclimated to the schedule. And you know what I did? You know what? I'm going to find it. I found an old schedule of mine. And people that say they want to play professional football and all this kind of stuff. I found an old two-a-day schedule of mine. Okay?
You need to show us that.
I'm going to bring it.
Bring it in. We'll put it on social media.
Yeah, I found a whole two-a-day. And when I tell you,
is from 6 to 10 every day. It's from 6 to 10 every day. And you got these little leisure points of where you can take
That's
naps.
6A to 10P.
6A to 10P.
Right.
Every day. Training camp. I think it's an old schedule when I was with the Steelers. My sister found it, and she told me she did. I said, I didn't tell her to send it to me. And I said, oh, that's pretty cool. I should have said, hey, listen, make a copy of it for me so I can put it on the air. So I'll get her to do that. I'll bring it in tomorrow, and we'll go down and we'll break it down from 6 to 10, what I had to do when I was a Steeler back in the day.
Do you remember it?
I remember it vaguely. I remember
the scars.
I remember wake up was 6:30. From 6:30 to 7:30, you had to eat breakfast. 7:45 was weightlifting. 9 o'clock was meetings, special teams, on the field, practice for 2.5 hours, conditioning, all that kind of stuff. Then you repeat it all over, and then you do it. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you
crazy.
had to be mindful of every moment, every
moment.
minute.
Because if you were late, you got fined.
Yeah.
They were looking for a reason to take your money now. Mm-hmm. I mean, they were giving you millions of dollars to play football, but trust me, in training camp, if you slept, you were late, or in that kind of stuff, oh, man, they just took it from you.
All right, so we got training camp to talk about. You guys can jump in, hit the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures. It is a Mokama Monday, and I love just saying the word Mokama because it is a beautiful place up in Fernandina Beach, and it is a tap room, and it's also a place where they brew some great coffee on top of brewing great beer. So you can head to the tap room and enjoy coffee every day of the week, including Monday, and then they serve up their best craft from Tuesday through Sunday. So Mokama, you can find them if you're heading out and looking for some delicious craft, Total Wine, ABC, your local grocer, whatever it might be. But definitely check it out because, you're talking about local and you're talking about good. Mokama Beer Company with a Mokama Monday right here on XL Prime.
I feel like we need a Mokama yell.
I don't know if we can do that.
Maybe we can use JJ's. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, exactly. That might be his. But, I'm going to have Simon and Casey and all them up there. We're going to go up there and do a show, and then we'll try and figure out what it will be.
All right.
Because you want to make sure that it's the way they came up with the name of the Mokama Beer Company.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful, it's organic, and so we have to figure out how we're going to make it happen, like what the identifier will be. But I know this much: the Cosmico IPA and the Rare Cargo.
Mm-hmm.
Those are my identifiers when it comes to Mokama. All right, so let's get it rolling. Let's start with the Open first. All of us watched it. And it's not like I'm rooting against somebody because
Yes, you are.
No. I'm rooting for my money. That's number one.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Yeah, and I'm rooting for my money, but I guess I'm also rooting for a tight pack of players to battle it out. And not to say that Brian Harmon ran away and hid, because there were a few times where it was close, but I just wanted to see a little more fireworks. That's really all I was looking for. I got to give him 100% credit. Things that you identify when it comes to winning the Open is dealing with the conditions, dealing with something that's different from your everyday. In other words, it's not the same week-to-week setup that you see normally on the PGA Tour. But if you had to have a Georgia Bulldog act like a Bulldog, that's what he was this week. He was just bear down, don't let anything distract you, go do your job, and he did it to the point where he was hoisting.
Including don't let the crowd distract you because they were going after him. They did not want him to win.
When I was watching the final round and I saw the leaderboard and I saw the guys who were behind him, the Rahms, the McElroys of the world, I got to admit, I wanted him to implode a little bit. I'm not going to lie. Just to bring it close, coming towards the end. And when he got on, I think it was a par 5, and he went the bushes, and he bogeyed it. I said, oh, yeah, okay, all right, here's an opportunity. And then you know what he does? He goes back-to-back birdies.
Yeah.
All right, back-to-back birdies. So I said, you know what? It doesn't make that. And JJ, I sent JJ a meme because I was looking at Brian Harmon, and I said, he reminds me of somebody, a TV show guy. And do you ever see Murr on Impractical Jokers? You don't know what Impractical Jokers is.
I have watched Impractical Jokers, but
he looks like Murr on Impractical Jokers. And I said that to JJ, he said he laughed.
I didn't know who it was, but I said it out loud, and my girl died laughing on the couch. So I Googled it, and it looks exactly like
So
the
after
guy.
I saw that and noticed that he looked like him, I said, I'm not going to root against this guy. But I'm going to tell you something, Joe. It bothered me a little bit. The amount of time he took, and they took account on the TV. Between him, the waggles, bro.
It drives you a little crazy.
Bro, it drove me crazy. I said, if you look up one more time and don't hit the ball.
People used to kill Sergio for that, but I would argue this one's worse.
He's worse than Sergio. Sergio was known for that, but this guy here, they didn't even. They had to count. One of the announcers counted. They said it was a nine count.
Oh no, it's 13.
13.
That's right. They didn't even get the count right. The first time it didn't work.
No, it didn't work the first time.
And then the second time they miscounted by like 2.
Oh man,
it's 13 because I even got.
I
TLD.
said 13 and a half.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I got TLD. I said you've got to see this. I said because if you're doing television golf, which means I announce televised golf to the world, and there are directors that will go, you know what? I'm not going to this guy until he's about to hit the shot.
His last waggle.
Yeah, and that would be the Sergios, the Kevin Nas of the world. Patrick Cantlay waddles like a duck standing over a putt. It just drives me bananas. And he'll do the tippy tap toe, whatever he does.
And now we have a new one. We have Wyndham Clark.
Yeah.
Who he takes forever on putts as
It's
well.
only 13 seconds. It's not that long.
Oh, dude, it's bad.
It's endless.
Were you not watching it?
It
was
endless.
rough, man.
It was rough.
Now remember, he shot it. I think did he beat par? He shot a 69 on Sunday, and so that means 69 times. I even think he does it when he's putting. That's a lot. That's 69 times 13, and he'll mark. Look at his putt, come back, remark, that type of stuff. But more than anything else, he played his game.
Yeah, he did.
Won.
Now, Joe, it's the British Open, and he's a leader. But is there any particular point where an official, they're not going to do this for the Open.
Put a timer on.
Put a timer on and say, hey, come on, bro.
They will either put groups on the clock or individuals on the clock. If they are not keeping up, they will definitely put them on the clock. But as JJ knows and many other golfers out there that watch, until they dock a player a stroke, until they take a stroke away in a major championship, you're not going to see too many guys speed up.
Which I would be offended if they took a stroke away from the leader of the British Open.
Yes,
for that. I would be pissed about that.
I tend to agree with it. Now,
Well, not only are they not going to take a stroke away, they're not going to go in the middle of a round and say, "Hey, speed it up," right?
No, they will. They will.
Even
They'll put them on
even
the
if you're
clock.
hot.
No,
if
they'll
you're
put them on
if
the
you're at the
clock.
top of the.
Oh yeah,
They'll walk up to him and say, "You're on the clock."
Oh yeah, you're on the clock. Speed it up. Now they'll be judicial in making that decision. They'll wait till the last possible minute. But Patrick Cantlay, remember, it drove Brooks Koepka crazy at Augusta because it was taking him forever.
By the way, I had to play with him 3 times out of 4 days. So unlucky.
Yeah, and the golf gods, they're kind and sometimes they're a little menacing. But basically, Cantlay said, "We're playing for a lot of money."
Right.
We are playing for a lot of
Right.
money.
I have no problem with it at all.
And
just like one putt, like we saw. Was it Jason Day maybe? He hit like a putt on 18. And just something like that's like $100,000.
Yeah.
Like if you go up one place or down one place at the very top of the leaderboard.
And
It's
Day,
so much.
Over his career, got a little slow. And to the point where, and he told him, I'm not changing my routine. I'm doing what I'm doing because I'm going to make sure I have the best chance for success.
Right.
So, all right, so let us know the Royal Liverpool layout.
People said it was boring, but I mean, there was point on Saturday and Sunday where he dropped a couple shots early in the round, and everyone else, he got within 2, I believe. Some people were within 2 on Saturday. After Rahm just went off in the morning, had an 8-under round, which was
Rahm
phenomenal. So I'm thinking going into Sunday, if this guy drops a couple shots, Rahm birdies maybe early in the round, it's on like Donkey Kong, and it wasn't.
No, and
it was for like half of a hole, and Rahm and none of the others really made a run. I mean, except Straka was the best. Another Georgia Bulldog, by the way, was the second best guy on the day.
Okay, so there it is right there. Let's make this the 10-10 take real quick because there it is right there. That's what I want to say more than anything else.
Now, Joe C's 10-10 take. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmaster since 68.
It's still July. It's still the big deal with a big deal going on right now. If you're a Sonny's fan, you go in there, you order the big deal. You're going to get delicious, delicious menu items. But now they have added Chipotle candied bacon to the mix. That means they got all sorts of great new menu items with the big deal all the way through the month of July. Look for them all over the First Coast, your area, Sonny's. So it's a 2-part deal, Okay, it's a two-part deal. One guy's trying to do his damnedest to win a golf tournament, and the other guys, if they're going to be part of this story, if they're going to be part of this movie, as we always like to refer to it, then you do your part and pull yourself back into this, okay? So there were times when Brian Harman wobbled, hiccuped, whatever, backed up just a little bit, but no one seized the moment. Tommy Fleetwood had so many chances to pull himself back into this tournament. They showed a graphic on Golf Channel going into the weekend, what he did in the first 2 rounds of majors. He was -10, and then in the second 2 rounds, he was +10. And basically, he did not take advantage of a situation. He just missed putt after putt after putt. And Rory, you can say the same thing. You certainly, the only other guy you can point to right now is Sepp Straka, because he did step up and hit good shot after good shot and rolled in some putts. But those other guys,
Tom Kim, but he screwed himself on Thursday with a bad round.
Right, true. He shot 74, I believe, in the first round, something like that. And clawed his way back. And
but
he
man,
did.
Straka's a birdie machine.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, he had a chance at not just a 59, but a 58 a couple weeks ago, and he ended up hitting it into the water at 18. But still,
but to be fair,
yeah,
for the most part, it was kind of boring.
Yeah, because of that.
I mean, and because if you take him out, you take Harman out, you got 4 guys at 7 under.
Yeah.
And you got a tournament right there, man. You got 3 others at 6.
Let me explain to you guys why it wasn't boring for me and Joe very quickly. People, you need to start gambling on sports because it makes things that are boring not boring. Like, we literally had a contest. All you do is throw $20 in. There's like 10, 11 of us, whatever. And it came down to the very last shot of the entire tournament with Brian Harman on 18. It was a blast.
That's gambling.
Joe was winning going into Sunday. He had Hovland, Fleetwood, and Fowler. And Hovland was terrible.
That's savage. That's
and then
Norwegian
Fleetwood,
savage.
Fleetwood inexplicably on 17 just like tripled. It was terrible. So Joe ends up not winning the $200+, unfortunately, but it was very close. It came down to literally the guy who picked Brian Harman. Yes, we had a guy pick Brian Harman. He didn't even win.
Yeah,
because
that's hard to
of
believe.
Burns was so bad.
I just wanted to give it to him. Now, 2 things. This means nothing to really nothing to nobody with my good grammar here.
Yeah, I'm just telling you guys, start gambling on sports, please.
If I won, I was giving it to JJ as a wedding present.
Oh, nice.
I mean, it means nothing to nobody. But I was.
You know that now, JJ, so how's that feel?
Thank you, Joe.
I was going to happily give it to him as a wedding present because it was coming out of nowhere, and it was against a guy who picked Brian Harman. So if I beat him, like, that really isn't. That's dirty money. I'm giving that to JJ. But that savage Victor, who I picked going into the week, ended up just kind of fading on the final day. And then Fleetwood, another guy that I picked, just could not make a putt. And so then at 17, he hits it into the junk. He basically has to boot it. Like, just basically
hit it like 2 feet.
Yeah, like a hybrid. Hit it like 8 feet or whatever, and then try to get it up on the green. Still didn't get it up on the green and makes triple. So those 2 absolutely cost.
So you're getting nothing now, JJ.
Yeah.
I love that.
You'll like it.
He's fine.
He's still getting something, but it was going to come out of someone else's pot, you know? And so I was going to happily pad, the present with that.
I want to quickly talk about 2 guys before we go to break. Rory and Spieth. Rory, to me, is still – he's going to win a major. I don't know when it is, but you don't
it's now
just –
a decade.
I know, but you don't just go – the last – 8 majors, he's been in the top 10 in 7.
Yeah.
Like, this guy has been so close, but man, he just cannot hit putts at the end. I still think he's going to win within the next couple of years. But Jordan Spieth, he's done.
Well,
like, I think maybe the Masters is the only major he can contend at anymore. It's rough.
He came into the weekend in a great position and then just completely fell off.
Always. He was 2 under, I think, going into Saturday.
And hit a nice drive on the opening hole, and you're thinking, all right, and then it just completely went away. And the other guy that just kind of drives you a little, like John Rahm hit a 63 on Saturday. You're like, okay, give me more of that. And then he frustrated himself, and I'm sure the fans, on Sunday. But going back to the fans not being happy with Brian Harman, embrace your champion, okay? Embrace your champion. You set it up. It's lousy weather. It's what you want.
You guys claim you're the best fans in golf. You claim you're the best fans in golf, yet you're telling a guy he doesn't have the balls to win. He can't handle this on, like, the 3rd hole. They booed him walking onto the first tee yesterday.
And he
I'm all for it, but I mean, like, if you guys want to act like you're the golf fans of golf, you know, like you're so high and mighty, you don't do that.
Remember,
I'm fine with it, but whatever.
Colin Montgomery referred to some of us as ugly Americans. Yeah, that was not pretty over there, okay? You need to embrace – and by the way Brian Harman won that tournament yesterday was what Tiger Woods did back in the day. He made it dull and boring. Dull and boring. Tiger won one Open without hitting a single bunker. Brian Harman hit his second bunker of the week on the final hole.
On 18.
And hit a beautiful shot to the flag. So anyway, it just drives you a little crazy. You got to appreciate champions. It's really as simple as that.
Horses for courses or whatever the hell, you know, styles make fights, as they say. Brian Harman will not win another major. This is the only one that he's built to be good at.
Well, I told
part of me wants him to just join the DP World Tour and play like nothing but links courses.
You know, the beautiful thing about him is he is just a straight ball hitter, and he can putt lights out. And after he made bogeys, he came back with a pair of birdies. I think he did that both on Saturday and Sunday, and then drained a 35 to 40 footer when he didn't need it, just to bury the rest of the field a little bit more.
Do you think he'll make the Ryder Cup team? His game does seem built for, like, someone can play with him pretty easily, you know?
He has got, if he had a 25% chance before this, he's got a 75% chance now. It more than doubled in my mind because he's so sound, sturdy, and the fact that he didn't wilt. He had to live up to that European heat.
Is it me? He seems like a tiny guy.
He's 5'7".
He's 5'7". Okay,
yeah.
okay. That's what I was thinking. He was a little small guy.
Because
most of the guys I see out there 5'10", 6 foot, whatever. He big and stout.
Oh, there's some big hitters.
I saw this little
on the
man
tour,
out there just swinging the ball.
He may be 160, right?
Yeah,
he's a little
like
tiny.
Ricky Fowler has an inch or two on him. Okay, if you can imagine that.
Like if a guy like Brooks was standing, or John Rahm, these are big boys.
Yeah. Well, heck, when Sepp Straka, who's another bulldog in Austrian, but went to Georgia, he goes up to hug him. He swallows him. Like when you and I did our prediction, I can stand behind you, no one can see me. That's kind of what. Yeah.
Now, what did you think about Brian Harman's family not showing up?
Well,
they were like fishing or crabbing or whatever it was. No
Georgia,
one was there for him.
They were up I believe in Syracuse, and I think they had family. And I need to go back and look at this because I was all over the map. But I thought they might have said that they're expecting another baby, and maybe that's why she didn't travel.
No, his wife wasn't even watching.
That's what she
was
said
texting. Okay, so maybe they didn't want to, jinx it by, hey, let's show up on Sunday, and then he blows it.
Right.
Yeah, she was like texting NBC, who, by the way, horror show NBC with golf. Oh my God.
Well,
commercial after commercial after commercial. I had to put the Sky Sports feed illegally on my laptop. It was so bad.
I didn't think it was that bad, honestly.
They did the split screen, didn't they?
I hate that.
Yeah. There's nothing. I'm used to it. I like seeing it, but I don't like seeing it, but I'm used to it. But she said that she just doesn't put pressure on him or herself. She just goes, out, and just if it happens, it happens.
Yeah, NBC asked her. I think Azinger was texting her, and she was like, I've seen a couple shots, but I took a long walk today. I'm tuning in and out. I'm just like, dude, your husband's having the biggest moment of his life.
But just as an example, Patrick Rogers had a chance to win the Barracuda Championship, which I also was part of over the weekend out in Tahoe. It was his 246th start, and he didn't win again. And so his wife and baby were there, and I felt bad for them,
Oh, he blew it.
Yeah.
He didn't win.
Yeah,
Oh.
he blew it.
That's why I being someone who's very superstitious, I get that.
Yeah.
You don't want to show up and all of a sudden your son blows it or your husband or whatever.
All right, so let's get into a little Jaguar talk. We definitely want to hear from you if you're an Open fan. Did you like it? Did you not like it? You can hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. A Mocama Monday. Don't forget they've got all their great craft Tuesday through Sunday. Coffee every single day of the week, including today. Look for Mocama up in Fernandina Beach. They are on South 8th, right there in the heart of the historic district, and you can find them on the shelf at any one of your Total, ABC, or in the cooler. Look for a little Mocama.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers.
Hi there, I'm Steve Spurrier on 10XL 92.5 FM.
1010XL.
Attention car buyers, are you noticing markups on vehicles on dealer lots? Well, come to Key Buick GMC, where we never have markups on our vehicles. Ask for Derek or Brian, where we have fair value pricing, no additional markups, as well as the only Buick GMC dealer with a lifetime powertrain warranty on all new Buicks and GMCs. That's only at Key Buick GMC. We are professional grade across from Tinseltown on the corner of South Side and Gate, or go to our website, keybuickgmc.com.
You will love your new custom windows and doors from Renewal by Andersen. For a limited time, get $289 off every window and $589 off all patio doors. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. Enjoy the beauty and quality that only Renewal by Andersen offers. This offer expires July 31st and restrictions apply. Renewal by Andersen, the official window and door replacement partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit rbafla.com. License number CGC 1527613.
First Responder AC and Heat is a family, veteran, and first responder-owned company. Our family has served North Florida with residential services for over 50 years. First Responder AC and Heat provides customers with a hometown feel, heating, ventilation and air conditioning system replacement, home air purification, duct cleaning, and so much more. 10% discount for veterans, first responders, teachers, and new homeowners. For all the details, go to firstresponderac.com.
Ackerman Urology offers the most advanced options for improving men's health and vitality. Their board-certified urologists treat all prostate disease and sexual health issues. Call their new location on Atlantic and Hodges or visit ackermanurology.com.
What's the famous automotive philosophy? It means consistency across all 20 locations for friendly service, honest pricing, and realistic time expectations, so you know your vehicle is in good hands at any Famous Automotive and Famous Quick Lube.
Start your Sunday off with a cup of Joe and some sports medicine intel. This is Joe C. inviting you to join me and Dr. George Bari for Breaking Bones every Sunday morning at 7:30. And if you miss an episode, just look for Breaking Bones wherever you listen to podcasts.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, presented by FIS, is home this week at 1-to-1 Financial Ballpark. Tomorrow is Community First 2 for Tuesday and Military Appreciation. Free tickets for all military independence presented by Tulsa Welding School. ViStar Good is Everywhere Wednesday is also a Forever Vets Dog Day. Get the weekend started with Coors Light Thirsty Thursday. Jumbo Shrimp home through Sunday. Tickets start at just $5. Visit jackshrimp.com for tickets.
Looking for a mouth-watering lunch that won't leave you feeling heavy? ABBQ's lunch menu features our famous prime brisket dip served on French pastry signature bread. But we also offer lighter fare, including 4 salads to choose from, our house-made chicken salad, our smoked turkey sandwich, and here's the best part. You can add any of our smokehouse meats to our signature salad, so come on down to ABBQ for lunch today and enjoy a meal that's both delicious and guilt-free.
Yum.
ABBQ, meet and drink with us.
Real people are getting real and lasting pain relief at QC Kinetics.
Who would have thought that I would be in better shape now than after I got out of the Marines at 22?
It's great to be active again.
I've played 36 holes multiple days in a row without pain. Everything is great.
Are you tired of living with chronic joint pain? QC Kinetics uses cutting-edge regenerative medicine to restore and repair damaged tissue, natural healing agents from your own body, so your body can heal itself the way it was designed, with no pain pills, no steroids, no drugs, and no downtime.
It was super successful, and I recommend everyone seek out QC Kinetics as an alternative to surgery.
Thanks to QC Kinetics, quality of life is just a lot better.
Definitely changed my life.
Call now to see if regenerative medicine could be the answer you've been looking for. The local medical professionals at QC Kinetics have proven protocols that can give you lasting relief now, and the consultation is free.
Call QC Kinetics, 904-274-5522. That's 904-274-5522. 904-274-5522.
Calling all poker players. The summer is upon us and the excitement is heating up at Best Bet. Keep cool with our Christmas in July promotion and experience world-class poker, delicious food and drinks, and fun card games. Best Bet offers something for everyone, from tournaments to table games and daily high-hand promotions. Visit one of our locations in Jacksonville or Orange Park. Visit bestbetjacks.com for complete schedule. That's bestbetjacks.com.
This
is Protection. Yep, Protection. The everyday skin protection ritual that protects your skin from mosquitoes. Pre-barbecue. Pre-playground. Pre-everything. Pre-every day. Prevention is the best protection. This summer, make sure you have OFF, the #1 dermatologist-recommended repellent brand. SC Johnson, a family company.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Mystic Cornhole Company is on the move. The store where excitement meets excellence is relocating this month to the corner of Hogan and Parental Home Road. And you can always find them online at mysticcornhole.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Mondays on XL Primetime, brought to you by Mokama. Check out their great craft in the tap room in Fernandina Beach.
Now you know I like loving on IPAs. That's just where my beer heart is. I love my light lagers, but I also love my IPAs. But they got plenty of other ones. They got the Pilsners. In fact, they got the Dune Garden American Lager. It's ABV 5%. Outstanding. It's a replacement for maybe a regular lager that you're used to enjoying. The Pilsner. And by the way, Big Vic, my neighbor, is one who turned me on to Mokama. So we're in the SJC, and they're up there in Nassau County. You can easily head on up and check out Mokama Beer Company right there in the beautiful heart of downtown Fernandina. So make sure you check them out or find them on the shelf. Now, we are going to get into the Jaguars training camp, but there's so many things that are going on outside of here that we need to get to with our little eye on the offseason. But first, you guys react to the Chris Claybrooks news. Bottom line is he's now been in trouble with the law on some level, okay, with either accusations or charge or arrest twice now in a short amount of time. This incident goes back to September of last year, but he was just arrested Friday afternoon, and it's a felony charge of false imprisonment and a misdemeanor charge of domestic battery. And Leon, that's not good, man. Not good.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is unfortunate that a lot of these young athletes have to learn the hard way. And he's in a situation where he's expendable. I mean, you got to look at, what was he, a seventh-round draft pick or something like that?
Yeah, late round draft pick.
Draft pick, and he was, fifth or sixth corner as far as the Jaguars squad. You're going to be gone. You're going to be cut. I mean, you're going to be bounced out the league, to be quite honest. And I wasn't there. We don't know the scenario, but anytime it has to do with anything domestic, you automatically are going to be pigeonholed as a player. And it's unfortunate that this scenario, not only for him but for the woman. Right. I mean, we talk so much about his career and all this other kind of stuff, but the woman as well. She shouldn't have to be put in that kind of position where, he poses a threat to where she can't leave when, against her will, that kind of stuff. So, and I got daughters, so you put your child in that scenario, and as a father, you're like, the hell are you doing, bro? Right. So I mean, yes.
And even if it's not like the most egregiously violent sounding crime ever, this is multiple times now. And this is a pattern. This is a red flag.
The three of us here have daughters, so you hit it at the core right there.
Absolutely.
All right, so I'm just going to read this from John Shipley, just as you can find it, Jaguar Report. But according to a source with direct knowledge of the situation, September 22nd last year, just days before they were heading out to play the Chargers the first time of the season, according to the source, the victim alleges that the two argued and the victim attempted to leave the residence. The victim stated that Claybrooks then allegedly grabbed her around her torso, prevented the victim from leaving by physically blocking her exit. The source says the alleged incident was also caught on video surveillance. So then you go to the other one that took place up in Nashville, and so Jaguars definitely reacting, saying we are aware, but we don't know exactly what's going to happen. Now, you read the tea leaves, at least some of the rumors that are out there in the NFL world is that Jacksonville and a couple of teams are interested in one of the players who's asked out of Pittsburgh. And Jacksonville is definitely in the mix on a cornerback. And this goes back to what you just said. If the flag goes up or their antenna is raised for stuff off the field, alleged or accurate, that's going to make them look at their depth chart, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, these allegations. I mean, he carries no weight as far as the Jaguars. And you know what is interesting, because this is like the first real spot on like Doug's regime. You know what I'm saying? Because everything else has been all positive, sort of say your Jaguars winning and new culture and new. So this Claymore Brooks thing is kind of like the little spot, you know, in the nice white shirt. So it'll be very interesting to see what the Jaguars do. I mean, there's no way he makes the route. No way he's going to be on the team after these two incidents, because he's showing the pattern.
Yeah.
So this happened before the Chargers game last year, which was week 3, correct? Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, week 3.
Chargers game, September 22nd.
So then he was arrested again 4 months ago because he allegedly grabbed a cell phone from a woman. I'm guessing it's the same woman, right? Damaged the phone by throwing it to the ground. He was not prosecuted after reaching a settlement in the case.
Right, and that was as the story was reported, or at least maybe Claybrook's explanation of it, is that this was one girl saying, "I'm going to show the other girl what's going on."
Even if it wasn't the same girl, okay? Even if it wasn't the same girl, that's the second time now he's had a problem there. See, I would have thought that after the second time it would have been, all right, this is not worth it. He's a special teams guy. He's not even your third corner. He's literally a special teams guy.
Right, he was, and then they went out and found better.
Right, there's no reason to have him on the roster. So now you're going to wait till the third time before you get rid of him?
Yeah, and look, the other thing that's a little puzzling to me, and this is, I don't know the answer, is that if this happened a year ago, why did the arrest just take place? I don't know. Maybe that individual came forward and said, I would like to pursue charges. That's usually how it goes, but that's just a guess, you know. So, all right, if you've got anything on it, let us know, 641-1010. He definitely is, I would think, right now, treading on thin ice as far as the football team is concerned, and they got a 90-man roster. They're going to make some clear-cut decisions on who's going to make this roster going forward. Now he's going to have to double prove he needs to belong on this
Wait,
team.
so let me understand this. This arrest is for what happened with before the Chargers game?
Yeah.
Correct. So it's only 2 then?
Yeah.
So it's only 2.
Yeah,
okay.
just 2.
Okay, so it's only 2. All right, well then he's not on the roster.
Yeah,
he's a special teams guy. He's out. And for that matter, I don't think he's in the league anymore. Like, you can't we're at a point right now in this society where you cannot do stuff like this.
It's definitely not good. That's for sure. All right, let's hit Eye on the offseason. We'll get back to your Jacksonville Jaguars, but there's definitely all this chatter around the running back world. It will not go away.
Time now for Eye on the Offseason, brought to you by Dr. Robert Schnipper and the Jacksonville Eye Center.
My man, Dr. Schnipper, you can log on, drschnipper.com. He is the OG of ophthalmology. I love saying it because it's true. He's been in Duval for decades, and he wants to make sure that the Jacksonville Eye Center, their vision is taking care of your vision. And it could be glasses, contacts, LASIK, the Allegretta Wave, and the Entrelace, an unbelievable technology right there for you that Doc can show you everything and show you just how easy it is to have LASIK at C2020 within days. It's so easy in and out. The procedure is perfect. You can also look later in life at cataracts. It's all there. The Jacksonville Eye Center, call 355-5555 or log on to drschnipper.com. So I'm looking at some of the numbers, and we can't help but talk about where this running back game is at, and we talked about this a little bit last week, Leon, but over the weekend, you had basically a running back summit. You had Saquon Barkley talk to the other running backs, and everyone's trying to figure it out. They don't really have any course of action to change the contracts and how long they're going to be signed for. Unfortunately, they just don't.
Well, listen, they do. The blueprint for holding out, just ask Le'Veon Bell how unfortunate it was for him to hold out at Pittsburgh and where his career tanked after that. So, I mean, that's the only real leverage they have right now is to hold out the season. And then who's to say the team doesn't franchise tag him again? You know, so, I mean, They have absolutely no leverage right now. This is a vertical league. This is a quarterback league. It's a wide receiver league. It is just unfortunate that the running back, we were talking about it yesterday, it's unfortunate that the running back is interchangeable, where, you can take a 7th-round pick and move him at the running back position with a solid offensive line and you can take it to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? You don't need that sort of, say, dynamic. I'm going to tell you who ruined it for running backs. What's his name?
Le'Veon Bell.
What Le'Veon Bell did. I'm talking about the running backs that made these super contracts and then didn't pan out.
Zeke?
Oh, Zeke.
Zeke.
Yeah.
Zeke ruined it. What's the running back for the Rams?
My God, Gurley.
Gurley ruined it. Todd
Right,
Gurley. I
Gurley.
mean, these guys right here, they got these super big, got these super deals and didn't pan out. They got injured or all that kind of stuff, or didn't live up to the productivity of the deals. And now a lot of these teams are getting whiff of that. They said, we're not going to pay these running backs all this
so
kind of money.
Here's a good example of what you're talking about. Okay, the only guy that's really getting any good money right now
is probably
it's Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry, yeah,
because he's the engine
well,
of that
Metcalf
offense,
maybe too,
and then Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah,
so
Christian
definitely those two,
McCaffrey.
and they're two different types. Okay,
yeah.
Derrick is still the diesel, still runs the ball, and he's earning his money. McCaffrey does it in all these different spots on the field, and Kyle Shanahan loves him. All right, $20 million guaranteed contracts, okay, for veterans. $20 million guaranteed on veteran contracts. This is 2013 versus 2023. So it's a decade apart, right?
Yep.
We all can immediately think of how valuable the running back was a decade ago compared to what it is now. So they show running backs versus wide receivers and how much the game has changed. In 2013, $20 million guaranteed contracts, there were a total of 8 for wide receivers and a total of 6 for running backs. Very close. Fast forward a decade. A decade later, there are 4 contracts for running backs and 26 for wide receivers.
Joe,
of $20 million or more.
That
tells it all, right?
The narrative used to be in 2013, you can get a wide receiver anywhere. You can get a wide receiver in the draft, they'll be fine. As recently as 3 or 4 years ago, it was don't draft first round. Don't use first-round picks on receivers.
Yeah.
Now everybody's using first-round
Jamar
picks
Chase,
on
Justin
receivers.
Jefferson.
Yes.
You go down the line with all these
because
guys.
that's how the game has changed. Because that's kids now are growing up from the high school level. It's more important for them to be a receiver than a running back.
Yeah,
the
Devonta
receiver's
Smith,
the more
Jalen Waddle.
glamorous position. Yeah.
We can start running through them. But that is crazy. 26 guaranteed $20 million or more compared to 4 right now. Now let's get back to Saquon real quick. Because Saquon Barkley, although they don't want to give him the money that he's looking for, they have tagged him. He doesn't say for sure whether he's going to be there and all that kind of stuff. But he might have, of the guys that feel like they're getting jacked up by their teams, he might have the most leverage. When you consider he had 377 touches, Leon, 377, either totes or catches out of the backfield. The next closest Giant was 143. So that's 225 less touches for anybody else wearing a Giants uniform compared to Saquon. Yards from scrimmage, he had 1,841. The next closest guy had 1,000 yards less.
Yeah.
1,000 yards less.
Well,
scrimmage touchdowns, he had a dozen. The next closest guy, 7.
But hell, I'll be offended with the fact that the New York Giants paid Daniel Jones damn near $40 million a year,
Over
and I'm trying
40.
and they're trying to pay me 10.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones is pedestrian at best. Yeah. At best.
I agree. It's the importance of the position. I totally agree, and that's probably what's frosting his flakes more than anything else right now.
Yes. Like I was talking about this last week, I said that any defensive coordinator going into a game and playing against the New York Giants and says, listen, let's stop Saquon and force Daniel Jones to beat us.
Yeah, simple.
Simple.
And by the way, Josh Jacobs out in Vegas, at least the story is that
how you do NFL leading rusher and you can't get paid?
And he said he is not planning on reporting. He's basically leaving Las Vegas like Nicolas Cage back in the day. This is Tom Pelissero reporting this. He was boarding a flight out of Vegas Monday morning. Has told those close to him that he doesn't plan on returning anytime soon. And he did go off last year, okay? Yeah. He had a bunch of yards.
Well, I mean, he should be offended as well, too, because last year they didn't pick up his option. They said, you're going to have to prove it to us.
Right.
And then he proved it to you. He led the NFL in rushing, and then guess what happens? Instead of letting him go out on the free agent market, you tag him. And now you don't want to pay him. Yeah. The only leverage he has now is like, I can't play. I won't play.
So listen to this. In 2013, Larry Fitzgerald had the highest contract of any wide receiver in the league. Guess how much he made for that year in 2013?
Oh,
the highest contract?
Of any receiver in the league. Guess what he made?
8.
12 a year.
10.7.
Okay, we were split in the middle.
Yeah.
2023, the highest contract for a wide receiver in the NFL is
20.
Amari Cooper. Yeah. 23.7 million.
Ooh. It's a massive
It's gone
jump.
up 13.7. It's gone up 125%.
Yeah.
Wow.
130%.
And so it does tell you the premium now is on that pass catcher.
Yeah.
That guy who's going to be dynamic. And by the way, as we're sitting here talking about this, we might as well put this into the into the equation. Chris Jones, they don't pay defensive tackles as much as they pay defensive ends, but he was productive. You know what he wants? He wants $30 million a year.
He's going to get it.
$30 million a year.
He's going to get it.
And he's telling the Kansas City Chiefs that I'm worth it. I'm the heart and soul of what happens defensively. Sure, this is an offensive squad, but he wants $30 million a year. Right now, he wants Aaron Donald money.
I mean, it's more. He wants Leonard Williams is number one. He's 32.2.
Yeah, well, Aaron Donald right now highest paid defensive tackle at 31.67, and then you got Quinnen got his deal. Who else? A couple of other guys got some deals.
Yeah,
but,
Leonard Williams did. He's at 32.2 right
It is
now.
32.2.
Yeah.
And so
Aaron Donald's at 26 million, and Chris Jones is second. His cap number right now is 28.2.
Okay, so I'm looking at Aaron Donald at 31.67, so maybe that's just the average, including the signing bonus. Maybe that's what it is. But, yeah, he is not being paid what he thinks he's worth, and when Quinnen Williams gets his deal, he can't help it. This goes back in the day when you and Willie Rofe and whomever else, you get a deal, next guy calls his agent and says, I want a deal.
Yeah, absolutely. You're watching the contracts. If you're a free agent, or if you're not a free agent, if you're on the team, you feel like you're being underpaid and you're seeing a guy that you feel like you're better than or just as good as, get more money, then you're like, hey, you start knocking on that door. Hey, I need some more money.
To your point, Aaron Donald next year, if he plays, 34.1.
Okay, yeah.
If you're Aaron Donald, he almost walked away this year. This past year.
Yeah.
Now he's playing again this year. How do you walk away from 34.1 million?
It's hard to do. It really is. It's hard to do. So you've got a few guys that are wanting to basically get paid, and I don't blame them at all. I totally get it. But that's really what it's going to come down to. Anyone see OBJ in a Ravens uniform? He actually looked pretty good, didn't he? Did you see him? Just kind of running around. They're not hitting and knocking heads just yet.
Yeah.
But he said he's been waiting a long time, and he's trying to come back. Remember, he missed the entire 22 season because of that ACL at the beginning of 22, which was the Super Bowl for the Rams. And he said it's been a long time, and he's ready to get rolling.
Yeah, I mean, he just got to stay healthy. I mean, he's one of the more dynamic wide receivers in the league if he's healthy. Great ball skills, great route runner. I mean, he's definitely going to help El Boogie as far as the offense goes. I mean, a lot of his receivers that he had in the day, I mean, El Boogie had, didn't really pan out. A lot of first-round picks that they picked didn't pan out. So now he's got two legit wide receivers. One they drafted in the first round, OBJ. So, and your tight end situation is on lock, all pro tight end. So that's going to definitely help, except when they come here.
Yeah, exactly. We need to make sure that they neutralize him and them.
True.
That's for sure.
True.
Because they could handle Lamar and force him into a running situation, and they could handle it. And they even, I guess you'd have to say they had an answer for Mark Andrews this last time, because I don't believe he got in the end zone against the Jaguars.
And they drafted a kid from Boston College, Zay Flowers.
Yeah, Zay Flowers, and OBJ.
And OBJ.
They're both. He and D-Hop D-Hop's 31. He's 30. They're at a point right now where you're like, we'll see.
Well, I would think OBJ's really feeling like he's got to prove something because he is a full year out of football. DeAndre Hopkins knows that hamstring injury was devastating to him, so he's probably feeling like he's got to prove it. Took cash over zip code or destination when he went to the Tennessee Titans. But, yeah, that's what it does.
They're both in proven years. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that at all. All right, there you go. Eye on the offseason. Thanks to drschnipper.com, the Jacksonville Eye Center. You can call 355-5555. See 20/20 with glasses, contacts, LASIK, cataracts, whatever it might be. Make sure you get with Dr. Schnipper. He can take care of you. All right, so we head into the 1 o'clock hour. We're going to say hello to Coach Campo, and then I'll be, boarding the Beaver bus heading up to Charlotte for the ACC kickoff, and we'll set that up coming up in just a bit as well. It's XL Primetime.
cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. Find the high groove.
Hey, boys, watch this.
This Sunday at Richmond, brought to you by Famous Automotive Tire and Quick Lube, servicing every customer like they're famous. On Jacksonville's NASCAR station, 1010XL.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Hi, Flying Jacko here, sports fans. Boy, is it hot. It's hot for the girls, too. And when I'm feeling the heat, I head for Woody's and pick up a good old-fashioned family feast.
At Woody's Barbecue, it's what we do. Let's eat.
Hey, this is Jason with Bueller Air Conditioning. Why do we love to go to that awesome grocery store where shopping is a pleasure? Why do we choose that amazing chicken sandwich where the service is fast and friendly and it's always their pleasure? You see, those brands are a promise. Here at Bueller Air, our team is committed to serving the customer and delivering that same kind of brand promise. Our mission is to be the most trusted brand with friendly and professional service every single time. Give us a call today or visit BuellerAir.com.
Are you an electrician looking for better pay and benefits? Miller Electric Company has the industry-leading compensation package. Electricians are eligible for a signing bonus up to $1,000. Now, they're partnering with the Jaguars on their new performance facility, the Miller Electric Center. Miller Electric has opportunities for you to work on some of the most exciting projects right here in Jacksonville. Whether you're experienced or not, visit MillerCareers.com, an equal opportunity employer. That's MillerCareers.com.
Are you drowning in credit card debt? Want to get cash out of your home's equity? Loan Pronto can now do it in less than a week. Hey, it's Prosser here, and that's right. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit just got even faster. You can get $50,000, $100,000, or even $200,000 in as little as 5 days. And you don't even have to touch your primary mortgage, so you can keep that 3% rate intact. Just get the money you need and pay off all those credit cards or get that home improvement project started. With this revolutionary program, you can access up to 90% of your home's value, and in most cases, there's no appraisal. Stop paying insane interest rates to the credit card companies and get tens or even hundreds of thousands in cash in as little as 5 days. Call Loan Pronto now for the even faster Equity Express line. 904-999-1508. LoanPronto.com or 904-999-1508. That's 904-999-1508. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
Summertime is here, and it's time to cast those worries out. And Royal is here to help you do that with our summer termite special featuring Centricon. Starting at just $249. That's right, I said $249, and that's installed.
Visit RoyalPestServices.com.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. Hurricanes happen in Florida. That's not news. But what happens even more often than hurricanes are home break-ins. And if security is important to you, you might want to look into hurricane-rated impact windows.
What you may not know is that hurricane-rated impact windows not only help protect your home in case of a hurricane, but they also offer another level of security for your home.
Have you seen those videos on YouTube that show people trying to break through an impact window? A thief is way too lazy to spend his energy trying to break through one of our impact windows. That's why he doesn't have a real job like you. He'd rather break your non-impact window while you're at work. Window World has high-quality, very affordable hurricane-rated impact windows to help protect your home from hurricanes and from lazy thieves.
Call us today at 904-443-7001. Get a free estimate and see for yourself. You save energy, get more security, and the windows add value to your home. With all Window World windows, you get the best guarantee in the window replacement business.
Window
World, simply the best for less.
And thank you for your business.
Sports injuries are a common issue for both adults and children. Dr. George Barry here, and as a specialist in orthopedic care, the team at Barry Orthopedics and Sports Medicine here in Jacksonville provides comprehensive diagnosis and treatments of all types of sports injuries. With additional training in sports medicine and more than 30 years of experience, the team is available to care for your entire family and help you have fun and stay active. Visit us today at BarryOrthopedics.com.
And don't forget to check out Breaking Bones Sunday morning, 7:30 on 1010XL.
Life is about choices and the decisions you make. I'm David Robbins with Epstein & Robbins. If you're convicted of a DUI, you'll have to face severe consequences. Walking through the doors of the courthouse or appearing at a bond hearing can be extremely intimidating. Without the right lawyer, you're likely to make the wrong decision. Let our team help you make the right decisions in court. Epstein & Robbins, the right choice.
Epstein & Robbins, fighting for your rights since 1975.
Do you have a plumbing problem that's making you feel like a sitting duck? Call Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing and Septic. Our team of expert plumbers will have your pipes flowing smoothly in no time. DuckDuckRooter.com.
What city has hosted the most Super Bowls? The answer coming up.
Southern Oak Insurance knows that you want to save money on your homeowner's insurance. So why not try some old-fashioned common sense? Ask your Southern Oak agent about our roof replacement schedule. It will save you money.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Miami has hosted the Super Bowl 11 times. New Orleans has had 10.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by Southern Oak Insurance. I'm Taylor Dahl for 1010XL. Florida Gators announced the balance of its upcoming season non-conference men's basketball schedule. Florida tips off their season hosting Loyola on Monday, November 6th. Gators play 6 power conference opponents, 4 neutral sites, and 1 on the road. November 17th will be against in-state rival Florida State. 5 opponents will mark the first meeting in series history. An ACC kickoff begins tomorrow as Florida State looks forward to an exciting season in Tallahassee. USA Today announced Florida State as one of its nominees for its 10 Best Reader's Choice Awards for Best College or Sports Fans. Noles have a collection of teams across 20 sports, and since 2014, the Seminoles have led all ACC teams in average viewership. It's 89 degrees at 12:59. Time and Temper brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's welcome in XL Primetime's coach, Dave Campo.
Dave Campo with an early arrival. It's a day earlier. It's an hour earlier. It's all kinds of earlier. But you're ready to rock and roll, are you not, sir?
I am, and I always have to start off with something. I just want to bring something up about what happened earlier in the show.
Yeah.
My really good friend over here, one of my favorite guys, Leon Searcy, brought this out. Joe, and I know you can relate to this.
Right.
Tiny guys can still win championships.
That's true. That's true.
That is 100% correct, sir. And look, it's so funny. I had this old Jewish guy. I loved him, Ted Patterson. He was the best.
Yeah.
And he says, big guy, big temper, small guy, even bigger temper. Yeah. And he actually would replace that word temper with anything else that he was thinking of. But that was his message: is that you pack a bigger punch in that smaller package.
Hey, my little dog, my little Shih Tzu Tiki Barber doesn't take a back seat to any of those big Dobermans and stuff that run around the neighborhood.
It's the truth.
That's
the
true.
truth.
That is true.
And look, Brian Harmon probably had that chip on his shoulder, not unlike a Maurice Jones-Drew.
Yeah, exactly.
Maurice Jones-Drew was 5'7".
Hey, one of the best I've been around.
Yeah.
Unbelievable player.
Did he play small? No.
No. He would run over you.
He was a brick house now. He was a bowling ball.
Yeah, he would play big. Coach, welcome in. Thanks for hanging out with us. You're going to have to keep Leon straight, which you normally did back in the day, but normally it's a shift change when you're here, and now you're going to rough him up?
Listen, I love Leon. He knows that, and I love being here with all you guys.
All I hear from Coach is back in the day, make sure you run your ass past the line, or it doesn't count.
The other day, Leon goes, Coach thinks he's Mr. Nice Guy now. You should have seen him back in the day.
Listen, Jimmy would not have fired Leon, but he would have fired me if I didn't say get across that line.
All right, I'm going to make a prediction. There might be a story told or two while you two guys are hanging out for the rest of the show. Thanks to Mokama on Mokama Monday right here on XL Primetime. Beautiful tap room. We're talking, they took an old, beautiful dwelling, just reimagined it and created the tap room. It was an old 50s car dealership up there on South 8th Street in Fernandina. So make sure you check them out. Every single day they're serving coffee early until the afternoon. The craft, they start brewing that. Well, actually, they've been brewing it, but they serve it Tuesday through Sunday, and you can get some delicious craft at Mokama Beer Company up in Fernandina, or pick it up inside one of your local grocers or Total Wine, ABC Liquors, wherever you're shopping, to get some great craft. All right, so we asked Leon about getting ready for training camp. So let's just use the time before I shove off. Just, how much does that you wake up Monday morning and guys are reporting, rookies already have, veterans will report in a couple of days. What are you doing?
Well, I mean, this is an exciting time. I mean, this is what coaches live for. This is the time that happens now between now and the first ball game will make a tremendous difference on what happens during the season. So, they're excited about it. And I really kind of laughed listening to Leon earlier talk about two-a-days. I mean, today's game is different. Back in the day, 6 to 10 is exactly right. And it was two-a-days, one a day, two-a-day, one a day. And that went on for 6 weeks. This wasn't a 2 or 3 week operation. And that part of it is I heard an interesting thing before. I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good, Coach. Go ahead.
I saw an article this week about, and this is old school now, about Andy Reid.
Right.
About him going one of only 7 teams now that goes away for training camp. Now, there's a lot of different ways to get things done, but us old school guys, to me, I'm sorry that's the way it is. I like the idea of everybody being together, and it was uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable for everybody, the coaches and the players, but they bonded during that time. And I just wish all teams went away. I hate to say that because I want Jacksonville to be able to see our team practice, but I think Andy Reid's doing it the right way.
Yeah, Coach is absolutely right. I'm old school as well because training camp was about the struggle. It was about the camaraderie. It was about the brotherhood. There's many a times that I used to wake up at 6 in the morning for training camp, and I'd be tired and frustrated. My body's aching, whatever. But I get in that elevator, and I press the elevator, and all the players in there, and someone tells a joke about something. The levity in that little joke right there just revived me. It just resuscitated me because I'm telling you, I was on flatline. Yeah. And a lot of players go on flatline, but it's just something about that camaraderie. Somebody says something funny, somebody lights up the mood, and you say, okay, I can. All it is about making the next day. And my body never felt right until I actually put the pads on. When I put the pads on, that's when, I felt rejuvenated. I really did. And I look forward to the competition, but I just feel that it's different now. Players can stay at home and come to training camp and all. I think I'm with the staying in the hotel, all the players, all the coaches, and just going about that struggle because I gotta know when I need you the most in a game that you won't quit on me. And you find out a lot about players in training camp, the ones that are gonna ride with you, and the ones that may die off.
So the ones that bond with you, sleeping in the locker room. On the floor in the locker room. Those are your boys, right?
Those are your boys. Because you sleep in the locker room because the time it takes you to get to the hotel, man, those are minutes, precious minutes.
Absolutely.
Those are precious minutes. Those are precious minutes that you gotta shower, get dressed, then get in your car, drive, get in your room, your bed. Man, those.
But how funky were you?
Man, we all funky, man.
On a scale of 1 to 10, funk. How funky?
To 5. I was George Clinton. That's why.
Listen, those guys that drove golf carts from the facility to the practice field, and when I was in Dallas, they were going really slow on the way there. But after the practice, they were going like there was Barney Oldfield and A.J. Foyt had nothing on them because they wanted to get back to that dorm and get in bed.
Oh yeah.
Any chance you had to shut it down, you shut it down, and that makes total sense. That's for sure. And I would think, and they've already unveiled this beautiful new performance center, Miller Electric Performance Center, and it is got everything.
Right. Now,
I looked at Leon, I'm like, how do you stress a player and spoil them at the same time?
Well,
because that's basically what it's going to feel
like.
Yeah,
I think so. But, I kind of like that from a coaching standpoint. When you go to work, I was in the dungeon over there for 3 years in the inside, and maybe some guys like that, but I like the idea when you go to work that everything looks first class to you. Okay, now that better not diminish what you do on the field, because I don't think Doug Peterson. I thought his practices last year were organized and tough. He didn't pull back too much, and that's been his way because I think he was brought up by Andy Reid. So,
sure.
But just the first class operation, knowing that that you feel good when you get there, and then you go to work, and I think that's going to be a plus, to be honest with you.
You really have to make sure that they don't complain, wish for anything. You want them to do their work.
Right.
And that's basically what that performance center has been designed to do. Right. Is that we were talking about with Leon, you can work out, you can get rehab or whatever, a little bit of training in, you can go study, you got your position rooms. I mean, you don't have to be looking around going.
Yeah. I like it because it's all about the business of ball. I mean, hell, if they built hotels around that facility, there would be no need for the players to go anywhere. You had you walk right on to the field. But yeah, like what Coach was saying, that's going to be even more attractive when it comes, because a lot of players nowadays with social media, they're about the candy, the eye candy. How are you obliging me? How are you taking care of me and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, I think Andy Reid's going to do – I mean, not Andy Reid. I'm calling him Andy Reid. I think Doug Marrone, Dougie Fresh. Peterson. I just call him Doug Marrone. I'm all over the place. That's all right. Dougie Fresh is going to be
that's some phony baloney right there.
Yeah, we're in the roll around here.
He must be talking about me. But, yeah, I think Doug Peterson does a great job when I was out there, the way he gets the players involved and he stays on top of them.
Yeah, and that's really – he wants mind on – the assignment, mind on what you got to do that day.
I don't know how you guys feel, but when I walked in here the other day and saw the rejuvenated situation that we're in right here,
new studio.
I honestly felt, wow, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the way the I don't know how you feel, but I think the players feel the same way when it comes to that.
Well, they have to feel better about just it's white now. It's not just so dark in there, right?
Right.
It's like inviting right now, right?
Yes.
I mean, every video I've seen, it's it's bright, it's clear. It's almost like it's this this analogy for everything's good now. Let's just move forward now. Everything's good, fresh and clean.
And the fans are going to be able to get in there. They're going to be able to fit a pile of fans, 2,000, which is really, really cool when you think about that. Fan cam's got his chili cranking. I'm going to miss it. I'm really upset about that. But, that's the tradition that he's had for a long, long time. And then when they moved over to Episcopal, just wasn't able to get it done. But he's going to be back serving up that first day when the fans get to see them. They're not going to be in helmet or in shoulder pads hitting on day one, but it's just the signal of this is the beginning.
And listen, for their sake, I hope they start the season well, because if they start and struggle, I'm going to blame that facility. I'm going to blame them. I've been giving them too much. I'm telling you, it's coming out my mouth. I'm letting you know right now. Just setting you up for it.
Well, we said he gave him too much last year when he gave him the 3 days off.
Oh, that's true. We did.
Mini camp. And
by the way,
it was all about feelings.
Yeah, the feelings part. Yeah.
When they started off, 2-7, and they were 0 for October.
Crushing them.
Yeah, we were
crushing them.
Yeah. We were thinking and it fell. They did have.
It felt bad. It did.
They did have some feelings that they needed to correct.
I mean, obviously they
to
did,
mend, right? to rehab, to make them feel
just
whole.
in the situation. But if you remember, during those first days through there were 2 or 3 plays away from winning 3 or 4 more ball games early in the year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mistakes that were corrected in the second half of the season. So that's what you get when you get a coaching staff and a bunch of players that are committed to doing things right.
And then later in the season, if they hadn't done all that, then they wouldn't have come from 27 down or 17 down twice, the way they were able to do it.
Exactly.
All right, so you all keep it rolling. We are going to roll up Baloo. Spielberg and I are heading up to the ACC kickoff, so we will have XL Primetime from there tomorrow.
Godspeed and be safe, boys.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. And so look, I got
that Beaver Chevy Tahoe.
Yeah, I mean it's a beautiful ride. So we'll stuff everything in there. We'll have shows from up there. We'll have social media, all sorts of content coming out. The ACC.
Hey, Matt, we hope that Graham does not drive like Joe when we drive. Because me and Matt were white knuckled the whole trip to where did we go?
The
Senior Bowl, Joe gets it moving, trust me.
Well, we got a schedule.
Got to make up for that lost time.
Yep, we got a schedule to keep. That's why I'm just going to.
Who's handling the tunes, by the way?
Yeah,
Good question.
Who's got the music?
Whoever drives should be able.
Exactly.
If you're driving, you listen to what I want to listen.
Exactly, because
I've
got my Spotify and I'll hook it up. You know what Blue is? Blue's old rock and roll.
Yeah, you're gonna be fine with Blue, but Graham is what I'm
Graham
worried
might
about.
be able. He might take you all to a place you don't want to be.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, listen,
you might want to stick those earbuds in, man.
Yeah, I like the new age, the hound mouth, and some of that. So we'll quiz him up. Listen, before it's done, we are going to indoctrinate Graham Marsh one way or another. All right, you guys keep it rolling.
Biggest Warren Zevon fan ever coming back.
Mokama Beer Company on a Monday right here on XL Primetime.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL. 1010XL.
I'm talking about friendship, loyalty, honor. Okay?
Honored to be your friend. Honored to serve you Jacksonville Sports Radio.
That's the corniest thing I've ever heard.
1010XL.
It's back! The Big One sales event is here, and it's going on now at Arlington Toyota. Mia here in Arlington has over 400 new Toyotas available. Cars, trucks, SUVs, and family vans. And that means now's the time to go big and go home in style. Plus, with every new Toyota purchase, you get Arlington's lifetime warranty and their 30-day exchange program. But don't wait. The Big One sales event won't last long, so shop today. 10939 Atlantic Boulevard and online at arlingtontoyota.com.
Working in the trades industry, going nowhere, sick of dealing with grueling residential install projects and demanding seasonal schedules? Become part of something better. All Weather Contractors wants you to join our multifamily and commercial construction property maintenance team now. Based in Jacksonville, we offer premium pay, bonuses, full benefits, 401k programs, employee stock ownership opportunities, and a culture focused on career advancements and opportunities. Build a better career in the commercial property maintenance industry. Apply online today at allweathercontractors.com.
Hey, Jacksonville, we need your help. It may be summer, but school is just around the corner. Hundreds of local homeless, at-risk, and low-income students need school supplies. One-to-One Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union, is collecting school supplies through July 30th, so our most vulnerable kids can start the school year right. Be a good person and help us fill 350 backpacks this summer. Bring donations to your nearest One-to-One Financial branch. Learn more and find the closest branch at one-to-one-fcu.org. And don't forget, the school supply tax holiday is the last week of July. Thanks, Jacksonville.
If you're often tired, have trouble exercising, or your heartbeat feels irregular, you might have atrial fibrillation, or AFib. Left untreated, AFib can put a strain on your heart and increase your risk of a stroke. But the new Heart Rhythm Center at Baptist Health can help. With the latest treatment options for heart disorders like AFib, our team of specialists can get you feeling stronger again. Learn more at baptistjacks.com/AFib or call 904-202-2342.
Northeast Florida's highest-rated residential home electrical contractor is American Electrical, providing unsurpassed quality in Duval, St. Johns, Clay, and Nassau counties. No matter your electrical problem or project, large or small, American Electrical will get it done at a price that's right. High-quality electrician, that's who they are. Trust a company that's been on the First Coast for decades, proudly serving the community while being a big part of the community. Call American Electrical for all your electric needs at 737-7770. Wired right at a fair price.
In sports, the grind outside the lines is what ultimately defines our success. Get the amateur's edge, powered by B3 Better, to learn the hidden path of top pros, amateurs, and coaches. Saturday mornings at 11 on 1010XL.
Summer means kids need to and want to get out and play. I-9 Sports is ready and waiting to host kids of all ages with flag football, t-ball, basketball, and soccer. Year-round sports all across the First Coast, from St. John's to Duval to Clay. Log on to i9sports.com and sign up. And don't forget, grandparents, you can get in too by helping sign a grandkid up to have fun this summer. All the details are at i9sports.com. Enter 1010XL in the promo code for a discount.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Ackerman Urology's new Beaches location is now open, conveniently located on Atlantic Boulevard near Hodges. Visit the experts at Ackerman for all your prostate and urological concerns. AckermanUrology.com.
If you want to get into broadcasting, 1010XL is partnering with the Broadcasters and Sportscasters Mentoring Group to offer on-air broadcast training to a select few. Find out how you can be mentored at getintobroadcasting.com. Getintobroadcasting.com.
Servicing every customer like they're famous. But what does that mean for you? It comes down to the famous philosophy. You'll find a consistency at all 20 locations in friendly service, honest pricing, and realistic time expectations. They know when you find someone you trust to maintain your vehicle, keep it running right, and lasting longer, you'll stick with them. And that's the famous philosophy at Famous Automotive in Quick Lube. Ask about a fleet account for your business.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555, Jacksonville. It's Mocama Monday on XL Primetime. Head to the tap room at Fernandina Beach every day that ends with Y and enjoy some Mocama.
It's 1:18 here on XL Prime Time. It is a Mocama Monday, where the beers are equal parts technical precision and creative arts, highlighted in their 3,500 square foot tap room, made from an old 50s car dealership. How about that, Coach? Coffee every day of the week, beer Tuesday through Sunday. Go find out what it's all about. All right, this is what I want to talk to you guys about. And I said it during the break, and already you're going back and forth, and I'm screaming, save it for the radio. That's what JJ always loves to say. Save it for the radio. So we're going to talk about the differences between a college camp and an NFL camp. Mm-hmm. Now, Leon, from a player's perspective and a coach's perspective, Dave, of course, from a player perspective, what was the harder of the two, college or the NFL?
Well, you got to remember where I came from. I came from the University of Miami when Jimmy Johnson was the coach, and Coach Campo was there as well. Jimmy Johnson was always about the stress. All right, could you handle the stress and the heat? Because Coach Johnson not only physically made practice so imposing. Mentally, he would mess with you mentally. And I was just about to talk to Coach Campo off the air about what he did to us one particular day. So our stress test was the 16-110s. I talk about it. Right. It's daunting upon me. I still go to therapy because I wake up at night hearing Coach Campo scream, cross the damn line. I never leaves me, okay?
So first explain what they are again.
Okay, 16-110s. You had to run, according to your position, you had to run the 16-110s at a certain time.
110
yards. 110
yards,
all right? You had to be across the line, your whole body across the line at a particular time, or it didn't count. If you halfway, or you're reaching out, or if you jumped across, didn't count. Your whole body had to be across it. All right.
And each position group had separate times.
And if you didn't
clear,
you had to make all 16 on time. All right. Or if you didn't make them on time, you had to run them every day of the week until you made them at 6 a.m. All right. So you don't want that either. All right.
So wait, the breaks in between the 110s. What kind of breaks?
45 seconds.
45 seconds.
45 seconds in between the breaks.
Oh my God.
So by the time you cross the line, you're getting your breath. And if you bent over, and Jimmy Johnson made an example of you, if you bent over and he caught you bending over, he didn't just give you an extra one. He gave you a whole group of extra 110. And nobody wanted that.
Bent over and let it happen.
Exactly.
Could you have your hands on your hips?
You can have your hands on your hips, but
how about your hands on your head?
Yes, of course, you can do all that. Sometimes you stood back to back against a guy so you wouldn't bend over.
That's
all right?
smart.
Just so you wouldn't bend over.
So you wouldn't bend over. All right. So everybody knows going into camp, this is why I talk about stress. All right. Everybody knows going into camp, you got to run the 16-110s before training camp even starts. All right. So one particular year, I think it was my second year I was at Miami. We come out of the dorms, everybody's walking towards the facility, knowing that we got to run 110s. But it's cool out. I mean, in Miami at that particular time, it might have been, when I say cool, I mean it's like 85.
Right.
It's 85.
Not 97.
The wind's blowing and everything like that, right? So guys are like, man, we're going to be all right, right? So we get into the meeting room or whatever, and we're expecting Coach Johnson to say, hey, everybody on the field for the 110s. But he doesn't say anything. We go into position meetings, this and that, whatever, right? We like, what the hell going on? We're not running the 110s, all right? So next day comes.
You thought you were getting out of it.
No, next day comes, same thing. No, So we get late into the week, we thinking that, Jimmy Johnson is not letting us run the 110s because it's not hot enough. So he waits till a day when it's like 95.
No way.
And we walk into the meeting room. We like, man, we ain't going to run the 110s this year. Coach Johnson said, get your cleats ready. We're running the 110s.
Gotcha.
Totally unprepared for it. We just go out on the field, and when I tell you, guys were passing out. Oh, it was horrible.
Wait, was passing out the same as bending over?
Bro, no, you can
Which
pass.
is worse.
You
So
can pass out. You can pass out when it's over. Just don't pass out when.
No, I mean mid. Like if you hit like 11 and you passed out, does that mean everybody else has to run again?
No. You if you pass out, that means you failed it. If you pass out, that means you failed it. That means you got to run it all over again in the morning.
Now, okay, so we've got his side of that. Okay, since you were there, let's get your side of that. And how did you really look at everybody, make sure everybody wasn't doubled over? If you knew somebody needed to be doubled over, you're all right with that?
No. No, you had to be standing straight up because in a ball game, you better be standing straight up. You better not be down on a knee in a ball game. And Leon's absolutely right on all that. I mean, when we went to the Cowboys, which we're going to talk about a little bit, but when we went to the Cowboys, we did the same 110s. It's exactly the same. And one of our kickers didn't make a couple of them, and Jimmy stopped the whole thing. He went over to the guy, and he said, hey, what's wrong with you? He said, well, I got asthma. He said, well, then get your butt over to the asthma field over there. And he cut him right after the game, right after the practice. So it was a psychological ploy. That's all it was, because the guys that were there were in condition.
Right.
In other words, they didn't necessarily have to run those 110s in that amount of time to be conditioned. They were conditioned.
It was a
but
stress
it was
test.
psychological.
Yeah,
absolutely, all the way. So, that was Jimmy, and, he was a psychology major. So, that was his deal. He could get into each guy individually, and
So,
that's the way he
I mean,
operated.
that was 89 too. So that's, when you really think about it, it's a completely different scenario then to now as far as the NFL. But you guys literally took your Canes blueprint, how you were so successful there and everything you did, and you just transported it to the NFL. There was no change, right?
No change at all. And that's the interesting part. I think Leon will say when he talks about the Steelers, a great organization, tough organization. It was probably a little easier for him when he got there in comparison.
Right.
When we went to the Cowboys, it was exactly the same. There was no change in how we operated, how we went. I mean, defensively, we ran the exact defense that we ran at Miami. Now, some of it didn't work because we didn't have the same players in relative
speed, right.
position. Jimmy will say this himself. If you talk to Jimmy, you say, why did you win at Miami? He will say, we had better players than everybody else. So it came down to getting the players.
Right.
Those are the guys that are playing. But the mindset was exactly the same. We had to change some things between the first year and the second year in Dallas because of the type of guys we had. And I think that's probably the way it is today. I don't know if you can do the same thing today. I really don't. I know that
by CBA, I mean, literally by contract.
Everything has changed.
Yeah.
All the amount of time you have in training camp, the amount of time you can spend in the building, no two-a-days anymore. All those kind of things are going on in the NFL. Now, I think college football probably has some of the same rules, Leon. Do you know that? I mean, are they limited how many two-a-days you have? And all that?
Yeah. They don't do two-a-days anymore.
Yeah, they don't do two-a-days anymore in practice in college, and they limit the amount of time. You remember those night meetings, Coach? Those afternoon meetings, those morning meetings that we had during training camp while I was at Miami. All those are done with. You can't have that. There's only a certain amount of time. I think a coach may get an hour with a player.
It's a 20-hour.
A 20-hour rule. Yeah, we spent 20 hours in one day sometimes at Miami. I mean, on the field. From when I tell you it was from 6 in Miami, and we used to have two-a-days, then we would have night meetings. I think Coach Johnson did a lot of that stuff because he didn't want to allow those players going out at night.
Right.
So he made a night meeting. So
he had a Thursday night meeting with you guys without any coaches, no equipment guys, just the players. And all he would do is he would say, what are you going to do when you're done playing here at the University of Miami and you have your degree,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And they would say, well, I'm going to play football. I'm going to be play in the NFL. You go, no, wait a minute. You can't say play in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do with your degree? And that was whole based on the fact that, he wanted guys to graduate. And he upped the graduation rate from about 50% to 85 or 90% while he was there, and it continued after that. And when
so that's how he'd keep guys from going out.
But
they'd all have to
he
hear each
will
other's
tell
story.
you that the real reason he had it was to keep guys from getting out on the street.
Oh, yeah.
That was his main thrust on a Thursday night, because if you really look at it, the people that study this stuff would tell you that 2 days prior to the game is more important than 1 day prior to the game as far as being physically and mentally ready to play on that day. So that's why, they played on Saturdays.
Right.
And so we'd have a Thursday night meeting to keep them off the street.
Yep.
But he also really cared about the players.
Right.
And that's, about graduation rates and all that. He sent us, right, Leon? We had to go and make sure guys were in class, sitting in the front rows, as assistant coaches.
So I want to go back to the difference real quick.
We called them drive-bys, by the way.
Drive-bys.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to go back to the difference real quick. But first, Dave, how did you walk into that NFL locker room and sell 16 110s? Like, how did you sell that? Didn't you have veterans, pushing back saying, we're not doing this?
No, we didn't have any of that. I think the guys understood that this guy meant business just by the way he came in and approached them, as soon as he got there. Remember, you had OTAs and all that. You weren't running 110s then. It was in training camp. But I think that was the key to the whole thing. But I'll be honest with you, one of the guys that I really respect today, who should be in the Hall of Fame, is Everson Walls.
Right.
Everson Walls rebelled against all the stuff that we did.
Right.
He'd been in the league for, 10 years,
Great
or
player.
8 years or whatever.
Yeah.
Outstanding player. We came in playing a lot of cover 2. He didn't want to play cover 2, and he didn't play it. And we got worked over. We were 1-15, and Jimmy let him go, and he went on to the Giants and finished his career on a really up note. So not everybody bought in.
Right.
The guys that didn't buy in were not there anymore. And that's very simple, and that's the way it was in college. If you didn't buy in, you move on. I think Deion Sanders is doing some of the stuff right now at Colorado. The guys that don't buy in are out.
Right.
Right. That's the way. And again, times have changed and all that stuff. But I think by and large, players want to be coached, and disciplined.
That's what I say all along. Players are desperate for discipline and direction. It may not seem that way, but they thrive in that. That's what they've thrived in all of their life. All right, Leon, when you left the Canes, considering what you knew about just the brutal hell that it was, you get to the Steelers. How much different was it?
Well, I mean, the one thing I enjoyed about the Steelers as much as I enjoyed being the Hurricanes, the fanfare, okay? So when we had the training camp, we go up to Latrobe. The fans are there. They're there to watch us practice and all that kind of stuff. But as far as the NFL went, as far as the intensity of it, the intensity was there. It was faster moving parts. There were faster moving parts because I had come from college. But I was equipped for it because I had played at Miami. We played in the pro-style offense. But as far as the tempo of practice was a little different than Miami. Miami was about stress. And, we banged a little bit. We banged a little bit in Pittsburgh, but I was prepared for it. But it was easier for me as training camp. But now you got to remember, this was my second training camp. It was my second year actually for field training because I held out all the training camp going my first year. I held out all the training camp.
And you could have fit into this group that are playing today.
Exactly. I held out all the training camp except the last day. So it was my second training camp with the Steelers that I could tell was different than my days at Miami. Just not as far as the intensity, but just the tempo of it. It was a lot more laxing, sort of say.
Right.
It wasn't a constant barrage of, because at Miami, like the coach was saying, Jimmy wanted to stress you, not only with the heat, with the intensity, with the yelling, to see if you, because I called it weeding out the weak.
Right.
If you weren't prepared to play at Miami at a certain level, at a certain speed, or a certain level of intensity, then you weren't going to be there. because eventually you're going to fall off or drop off. Listen, you don't know how many times you used to come into meetings and guys in the middle of the night done packed their bags and caught the cab and went to the airport. I'm talking about 3 and 4 star guys just bounce because they like, listen, I can't take this. For real, I'm very real. I'm for real. Literally, you would see guys like during training camp when I was at Miami. I'm talking about big time recruits.
Right.
Just be like, I can't take it anymore.
I'm done.
And Jimmy didn't want those guys around anyway, so it fulfilled its purpose: the conditioning, the stress, the intensity, the level of expectation. You know, because listen, Jimmy had us believing that every day we were practicing for our scholarship.
Right.
You were. We didn't know. We didn't know it was 1 year in the renewal. Jimmy would tell us, every day you're playing for your scholarship. Every day you are playing for your scholarship.
So you talk all the time about it's Club Med now for these guys in training camp, and you've seen it now. So then the question is, there has to be a way they're stressing them. There has to be a way they're weeding out the weak. When you watch it, how are they stressing them? Both you guys. How do they stress them now as compared to what it was before?
I don't know. I mean, listen. This was before Doug. This was before Doug Peterson. But the last time I was out in training camp, I remember I was with Basile.
Other than Herb kicking the kicker. Other than
Herb kick. Listen, the last time I remember being at training camp where I was just totally disgusted. I was standing next to Basile, and we were behind the offensive line, and they were going through a drill, and there was a lot of talking and conversation milling around. And I'm saying to myself, I said, why is there such a long line for this drill? I said, there's some chutes over there. Let's split this group up and put them on chutes, and then y'all do the bag and board right here, and then you do interchangeable where there's constant motion. I just saw guys. I think guys they was in this long line. The offensive line was talking amongst themselves. I don't know if they were planning trips or dinner or vacations.
You shouldn't have time for standing or talking.
No,
that's
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because I know that if you got 14 offensive linemen and they're doing one drill, there's a lot of milling around going on. Just split them up. Because what I used to do when I coached at FIU, I used to split up the tackles at one position, and I have the guards and centers over here. So I have the tackles doing bag and boards, and then I have the centers and the guards and the chutes.
Right.
And then they get their reps in, quick reps. Then they switch. That was totally frustrating me. And the last thing that I left after that. Y'all wonder why I left practice. Or I'm gonna tell you the reason why I left practice one time. Now this was about 3 years ago, right? So they had a Gatorade break, right? There was a break for Gatorade, right? So everybody came up and they started going towards this building, and I asked Basile, I said, "What?" I said, "Why are they going? Why are they going to that building?" He said, "Well, the building's refrigerated, so they go in there and they take off their pads, they drink Gatorade in the refrigerated building." I said, "I'm going. I'm leaving." I said, "I'm going. I'm out of here. I can't. I'm done. I'm done." Don't ask me to come out here no more.
So then how do they stress them now, Dave, or do they?
I don't know.
Because you want them ready for the fourth quarter of a game in the season, right?
Yeah. To me, they just watching last year's practices, they conditioned. Okay. One of the things that's different today than it used to be, and I'm going to be honest with you, when we went to the Cowboys, the weight room was outdoors. There was no building. It was underneath an overhang, right?
Right.
Because none of the players worked out there. They worked out at home, and then they'd bring them in once in a while to see if they were in condition or not. Well, Jimmy, that's the first thing he did was close the building up, hire a new strength coach, and go to work. Well, that's, to me, that has changed over the years now, where the players are working all the time. In other words, when they're in that building when they can come back, when they can come back, February, whatever, they're working. They're getting themselves in condition. So when you get to training camp, all you're really doing then is getting yourself football ready to play. In other words, there's a difference in conditioning, running a mile and doing that. So I don't know that they get stressed as much. It's more about business as usual. We've got to go from this, this thing, then now it's OTAs, now it's training camp. Nate Newton, who played for us with the Cowboys, used to balloon up sometimes in the offseason to about 320. He'd go to a fat farm And then when he came back, he'd have to make the 110s, but he had to go for 3 weeks at a fat farm in order to get that, be able to run the 110. So it's a different day and age now. And the same thing about how you treat players. Darren Woodson, and he's a great example of it. They have a Cowboy podcast that I listen to. And Darren and Larry Brown, who played for me,
right,
were on it. And they said, oh, yeah, no, Campo, he was this and he was that, and he'd cuss us out and he'd do this and that, because that's the way it was then, right? We didn't change at all. And Darren said, yeah, he said, Campo, and those guys love me right now, believe me. You know that. They've both been on the show.
Yeah.
He came out and said, yeah, Campo was half my size, but somehow he ended up in my face all the time. And that's kind of the difference between then and now. Now it's more the player asks you why, you tell them why, you show them why, and then they do it. It's a little different mentality now.
You tell them you care about their feelings.
Yeah. There is feelings involved now.
All right, when we come back, we're gonna get into the Jags. Training camp starts this week. Obviously, I want to ask you guys about the battles in training camp you're looking forward to. I'll give you mine as well. When we come back on the other side, it's XL Primetime. 1010.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
All aboard!
The momentum train is moving in the right direction.
Everyone believed in everyone.
1010XL, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The big deal lineup is back at Sonny's Barbecue, and now there's bacon. Introducing the new candied bacon burger, chicken sandwich, and fried green tomato BLT. All topped with bacon that's coated and crisped in our sweet and spicy rub. Each served with a side and drink starting at $9.99 for a limited time. Or add candied bacon to any sandwich for just $2. Come get a big deal combo today at Sonny's Barbecue. Local pit masters since '68.
Active and pain-free. That's the ticket. Dr. George Barry here, and I know that's the goal of every patient I see. They want the best possible care so they can go back to enjoying life. That could be pick up basketball, golf, tennis, running, or just working out. It all requires you to be as healthy as you can be. If joint pain is taking its toll on your active lifestyle, come see me at Barry Orthopedics. We have locations all over Jacksonville and can diagnose and treat even the most severe joint pain. A homegrown Jacksonville practice. Find out more at barryorthopedics.com.
This is Ellen Darley, and for almost 30 years, Darley's Plumbing has been known as a winning company for local homeowners, business owners, and our employees. And Darley's is an equal opportunity employer, now hiring for experienced plumbers and helpers. We provide excellent pay rates, great hours, affordable health insurance, and we've got plenty of work for you. So call us today, because we're hiring plumbers and helpers now at Darley's Plumbing, where quality counts.
This is Hayes Carline for First Florida Credit Union. I bank with First Florida Credit Union because I trust them. I can always count on them when it comes to the vast services they provide. They were fantastic in setting up my car loan. I've never had a bad experience, and I've banked with them for years. I trust First Florida Credit Union. I go to the branch off 210 in St. Johns County and the new Durbin location, but they have 10 branches in the Jacksonville area. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
The Reggie Hunt Memorial Golf Classic Fundraiser Golf Tournament is Friday, October 20th at Amelia River Golf Club. All proceeds support Big Brothers Big Sisters. Register at the Big Brothers Big Sisters events page.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On July 24th, 1978, Pete Rose ties the NL hitting streak of 37 games with a 7th-inning single previously held by Tommy Holmes.
Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE, the medical providers at Prime Men's Medical Center offer breakthrough treatments that eliminate problems in the bedroom without pain or surgery. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Prime Men's Medical Center offers the most advanced treatments to eliminate ED and PE. 98% of men experience instant results on their first office visit. They're even lasting 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Don't just take our word for it. Call Prime Men's Medical Center now for our limited time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. You'll see instant results right in the office. You'll even get a gift that enhances your performance in the bedroom. All this, worth hundreds of dollars, is free if you call now. 904-664-8217. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation. Light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to carlsondentalgroup.com. That's carlsondentalgroup.com for all of your dental needs.
Need cash? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn has cash available. Ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. They need it all. Selling or pawning, get cash on the spot at Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Meet Joe A, Joe B, and Joe C.
What's up?
3 everyday Joes perfecting their banking with Chase. Joe A is locking his lost debit card with the Chase mobile app. Joe B is cruising toward his new ride with AutoSave. And Joe C's Chase banker is helping him budget to go back to school. Tools that help protect. Support for what's next. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase. Make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Messaging and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
If you're a Jaguars fan who's always on the move, we've got the perfect ticket for you with our bundle at the bank. You can purchase tickets to 3 or more games, starting at just $58 per game. Whether you're working around a work schedule or excited to share the hometown team with out-of-town family, you get the flexibility you want for your time at Everbank this fall. Visit jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000 to get your bundle at the bank.
Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars. Make them your AC partner. With honest cost estimates before they start the work with no hidden fees, call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's Mocama Monday on XL Primetime. Head to the tap room at Fernandina Beach every day that ends with Y and enjoy some Mocama.
It is a Mocama Monday here on XL Primetime. Coffee every day of the week in Fernandina Beach. Beer Tuesday through Sunday in that 3,500 square foot tap room made from an old 50s car dealership. All right, Coach Leon. Rookies are in. Vets arrive tomorrow. First day of practice Wednesday. What's the advantage of getting the rookies there early, Dave?
Well, first of all, the way the system is now with the collective bargaining agreement, one less preseason game and a lot less training camp time, a rookie has a very difficult time making this football team. He better show up ready to roll and show up right away.
Because of the way it's structured.
Because it's structured that way. And you bring the rookies in early. It's like an orientation of let's go through some install with these guys and make sure that they, at least when they go to practice on Wednesday, when all the veterans are there, they have at least a little bit of knowledge so that they're not just flopping around out there.
Right.
So that they can, at least if they have an idea what they have to do by coverage or by whatever the play is on offense, they at least have a chance to show what they can do. And the faster they can show what they can do, the better chance they have of making the ball club.
Now, you, of course, skipped your first camp.
I did.
And
I want to get
you
paid.
At one point during the season, you were in the stands eating popcorn.
That's all in the book. Fourth down and damn alignment story.
They tried to call you into
Go ahead.
Call you in.
Don't
to
tell
play
them
the
my
game.
whole book. Let people buy it first.
All right, buy the book. Fourth down and damn. I read it. It's fantastic. All right, so the first, how much of the first part of the season, first 4 weeks, first 6, first 8, first 10, was your head swimming? How much would it have benefited you as a rookie to be in that camp?
Well, it would have benefited me tremendously because, I had aspirations to start my rookie year. The reason, initially the Steelers drafted me as high as they drafted me because they had brought in a a wily old vet named Duval Love, and they thought at left guard, and they thought because I played left tackle at Miami that they could just plug me in at left guard. But when I missed all the training camp, I was far behind. I was far behind everything as far as install, the intensity, the speed of the game, all that stuff. So I had to use the next training camp as my opportunity to win my position because they moved me from left guard to right tackle. But yeah, you gotta know the plays. You got to get your body acclimated for football. You got to. I don't know how they do it now. I was brought up in the era where you had to bang to get your body ready for the stress or the pulling, the tugging, the pushing, and all that kind of stuff. So I needed training camp to get my body ready for all of the different assortments of pressure that I was going to get from my defensive counterparts. So we did a lot of stuff that we in practice that we were going to do in games. Inside run, middle drill, blitz drill, team period, one-on-ones, individual drill, all that stuff. I needed all of that stuff because we had a 2-minute drill at the end and all that kind of stuff. I needed all that because it was simulating what I was going to be doing in a game.
Right.
So I say this, I don't know how well, but these players now they do a fabulous job of the less intensity, but still able to play at a high level.
Right.
Because they don't do 2-a-days anymore. You get more days off, and like Coach was saying, as far as a rookie goes, with less time to prove himself, he's got to know the playbook and be able to translate the playbook and go out there and go full speed
day one.
On day one.
Yep.
Absolutely day one.
Yeah.
Usually got a little time to get acclimated. And no, these kids now, if you're a late round draft pick and you're a rookie, you got to get it. You got to show some star power right day one.
Right. So right now, what's going on with the rookies? It's all classwork. When the vets arrive tomorrow, also all classwork. So Dave, explain to everybody what you're going to see if you go out there Wednesday. It's basically just going to be probably helmets, right? And it's going to be a lot of skeleton stuff and a lot of individual drill, right?
Yeah, no pads. They'll do a little bit of teamwork, but not much. It'll be more individual work, working on fundamentals, that type of thing. And really, when you really look at football today, the athletes today, no disrespect to Leon, because he was an outstanding athlete for his position. But the athletes today are better. They're bigger, faster, and all that kind of thing. But if you really look at it, the technique, especially at the beginning of the season, is not as good as it used to be because there wasn't as much time to work on the fundamentals. And everybody thinks, well, a guy shows up, he's 1.5% of all college players. Why does he need a coach? Well, that's why you have coaches, because those guys need fundamentals as well. And so it's a situation where you'll see a lot of maybe 7-on-7, some of the things where there's not going to be any banging involved, and they're going to be really installing. The one thing that happens is you install in the off season, you install in training camp, you repeat it, you repeat it again,
right?
And that's how you get it, you look at it, you practice it in OTAs as much as you can get done, and then you look at it and practice it again in training camp. And that's really what you'll see early. I think they put the pads on probably on Saturday. It's usually 3 days, I think. It's been a while since I've been in a camp. But
so they'll go Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. They won't take a day in between?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think they'll go straight through.
Saturday.
There'll be very few days off. He doesn't give a lot of days off. Now, he may give a time frame off.
Right.
For example, Jimmy used to, and we did the same thing. I mean, I copied Jimmy in a lot of ways. I wasn't quite as tough, I don't think, as Jimmy, but there will be times when Jimmy would just say, he'd get everybody dressed, everybody all in full pads and everything in the morning for the morning practice, and it'd be about 100 degrees in Austin. And then he'd say, okay, take the pads off, and he'd have a bus show up. You take them swimming, and he'll do some of that. Doug will do that. He did it in OTAs. He had them play paintball or something.
Right.
But they don't have a lot of days off. There isn't enough days to have a lot of days off.
Right.
So you're going to see practice after practice after practice. But I think it's a league rule that you have to be in non-pads for 3 days.
So the one thing I'm going to be interested, Leon, when Wednesday comes, is they will do some individual stuff where that first line will probably line up together. So and Cam can participate obviously in camp. It's going to be interesting what that offensive line looks like if they run out there in any drill where it's your first 5. My guess is Cam's not going to be out there in the first 5. What are your thoughts with that?
Well, yeah, I mean, he's not going to be able to participate for at least 4 games. I mean, you want to get, in my personal opinion, you want to give the guys reps, or the guys who want to be playing in the first 4 games. I mean, situationally, I will have Walker Little at left, and I will have Anton Harrison at right. I mean, that's what you're going to be going with. Cam's not his involvement in camp. I mean, I know he can be out there. I don't know what his knee situation is. I don't know if he's full go, 80%, 90%, whatever it is. But, I mean, maybe early on you give Cam the reps as far as, light stuff with helmets and stuff. But as the days go on, man, you've got to assert yourself and say, hey, listen, Cam's not going to be here. We need to get our guys ready who are going to be playing for us in the next 4 games.
Yeah, and that's
going to be Walker Little and Anton Harrison.
And here's the thing, too, Coach. I wanted to ask you about this because you've been through this. It's not just Walker Little and Anton Harrison that you need to get ready. You need to get Josh Wells ready. You need, you need to get a swing tackle, find a swing tackle, because heaven forbid something happens in those first 4 games, and you got to have somebody that's ready, right? So at the end of the day, Cam may not even be getting the amount of reps that whoever your swing tackle is going to be getting, right?
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know how they're going to do it. I really don't. I didn't ever deal with that situation myself, but
a suspension.
Okay. Yeah. But I will say that he'll probably get an awful lot of individual time, working drills, working the bags, sleds, whatever work they're going to be doing. But when it comes down to the teamwork, the offensive line is the most important position on the football field for making sure that everybody's on the same pame
Cohesive unit. Yeah,
exactly. And so I would think that they're going to pretty much do I could see him maybe being in the second unit some, because they'll determine relatively quickly, I think. Would you agree with this, Leon? They'll find the third guy
for the first
game or the first 4 games pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah.
And so he'll be in on every second down rep, or maybe even some first down reps. But Cam may get some second down looks in teamwork and stuff like that. But again, I think if he's not 100%, he wouldn't be doing that anyway.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing for him is going to be mental and individual work, in my opinion.
Yeah. And if I was him, I mean, I'll be doing that stuff on my own anyway.
Yeah.
Making sure my knee is conditioned right. You're getting the individual. I wouldn't want to upset the apple cart, so to say, because you already know what you already know what your penalty is, 4 games. So I mean, you go in there demanding reps. I mean, how does that help the team? You already know you're out 4 games. So I mean, I would be quiet, so to say. I'll be in my little corner for now.
See, that's so. Last segment, I said we were going to talk about position battles. That, I think, is the most important position battle right now. It is for the first 4 games, you're looking at either Josh Wells, Coy Cronk, or Cooper Hodges, the local kid from Baker County. Somebody's got to be your swing tackle, and for those first 4 games. That's going to be fun as hell to watch those 3 guys compete because, I mean, we've seen Josh Wells. We know what Josh Wells is, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is a chance, I think, for Coy Cronk or Cooper Hodges to literally make a move.
Yeah. Well, here's what's concerning to me. I mean, going into week 1, we're going to have a left tackle who's got 8 games of experience and a right tackle who's got none.
Yeah.
That don't scare you a little bit?
And maybe a guard, and maybe a left guard, and maybe a left guard that only had how many games before he got hurt?
Yeah, Ben Barch. Yeah. I mean, he's on the PUP list right now. I mean, he's doing no contact stuff right now. So
you still got. You have Shatley.
Yeah, no, obviously.
You got Shatley, who's
a solid guy there.
But there is a concern there for
strong.
the tackles,
absolutely.
for sure.
I don't know if you've heard that out. He's strong.
Yeah, his greatest strength. It's his strength, of course. Yeah.
Shatley's that's why I think that's one of the reasons I think that when Cam comes back, he goes to left tackle. and it may not be that first game, but that he's back. But you got to have one of those guys as a swing guy.
Well, let me ask you this question, Coach. Cam comes back after week 4. The Jaguars are 4-0, and they've given up no sacks. Do you keep what you got there, or do you swing, or do you bring Cam in?
My personal opinion is they wouldn't have paid him the money if they didn't think he was the best guy. So if he comes back, if he's ready and he's healthy, I think he goes in, and then you got a swing tackle operation there for the.
But are you saying this because are you saying this as a former head coach who doesn't want to see $18 million sitting on the bench?
No.
Or you're saying this because you think Cam is the best option at left tackle?
That I don't think they would have paid the money if they didn't feel that from the get-go.
Well, there was no other option, honestly.
No, but Little, though, is not that much ahead of where he was during that period of time.
Right.
He only played, how many games? 8 games, right?
Right.
Well, now, if he does another 4 games, they'll have a question. I mean, they'll have to make a decision. But I just think this is a different situation, but a guy doesn't lose his position out of injury. Now, this is a little different. So I'm not 100%. If let me put it this way, I think that's how it's going to go. But I wouldn't stand up and say I'm 95% sure that Cam is going to go to left tackle when he comes back immediately. I can't say that.
So
but I think that's what will happen, to be honest with you.
So we've heard, and I want to talk this, we need to go to break, but I want to talk this afterwards as well. We've heard about how Trent Baalke loves Cam Robinson, and they love Cam Robinson. I want to ask you when we come back, is there any lingering, what's the best way to say this, bitterness about the fact that he put himself in position and put the team in position with that 4-game suspension too? So think about that. I asked you and Leon both, or Leon's leaving. What am I saying?
Yeah.
You're out, big man.
I'm out, bro.
You're out. Where you headed?
Gotta go work out, bro.
All this talk about camp made you want to go work out.
No, well, this is my scheduled workout on Mondays. But, yeah, I'm getting training camp ready.
All right, bro. Go get it.
All right.
All right, we'll come back on the other side with Dave Camp and I. It's XL Primetime.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers. Now, another classic moment in Jags history.
Brunell swats it downfield looking for Keenan in the end zone. Keenan leaps, makes the catch. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Touchdown, Jacksonville. 31 yards.
The home of the home team you grew up with. 1010XL.
E.T. here for Brackish Vodka. This Jacksonville-produced and distilled gluten-free corn-based vodka is the smoothest vodka you'll ever have. And because it's mineral salt filtered after being distilled 5 times, you get the smoothest vodka on the market. And it's made right here in Jacksonville. Brackish Vodka won the silver medal at the Spirits competition this year. But you need to try Brackish Vodka to believe it yourself. The smoothest vodka you'll ever have. Drink like a local. Drink Brackish Vodka. Come on, somebody.
All year long you'll be singing our song. Stay cooler with Bueller. At the head of our class we make it happen fast. Stay cooler with Bueller. For heating and air we always play fair. We make the difference 'cause we really care. Bueller Air. Stay cooler with Bueller.
If you're looking for exterior solutions that provide you reliability and durability, it's time to call Armor Guard Exteriors. Whether you need seamless gutters or gutter protection, hurricane products, impact windows, glass lanais, or retractable awnings and screens, we've got you covered. Call My Home Team today for your 5-star experience at 904-906-8669.
Armor Guard Exteriors, committed to quality, and that's a promise.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville. It's summertime, Greg. Tell us what's going on with Honda, especially if people are heading to the beach.
I tell you what, it's summertime and Honda scooters are hot. They've got the Ruckus, they've got the Metro. They've also got the Honda Mini Motos. Don't forget about those, the little Honda Monkey and Honda Groms.
So they can see all these in the showroom?
Absolutely. We've got them in stock right now.
CyclesofJacksonville.com or check out the showroom, Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic near Regency.
Are you drowning in credit card debt? Want to get cash out of your home's equity?
Loan Pronto can now do it in less than a week. Hey, it's Prosser here, and that's right. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit just got even faster. You can get $50,000, $100,000, or even $200,000 in as little as 5 days. And you don't even have to touch your primary mortgage, so you can keep that 3% rate intact. Just get the money you need and pay off all those credit cards, or get that home improvement project started. With this revolutionary program, you can access up to 90% of your home's value, and in most cases, there's no appraisal. Stop paying insane interest rates to the credit card companies and get tens or even hundreds of thousands in cash in as little as 5 days. Call Loan Pronto now for the even faster Equity Express line. 904-999-1508. LoanPronto.com or 904-999-1508. That's 904-999-1508. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
Attention golfers, Hidden Hills Golf Club has a little bit of something for everyone. So whether you want to practice, play, or just relax with friends at the Hills Grill, Hidden Hills is the place for you. If you love golf, check us out at hiddenhillsgc.com.
This is Hayes Carlion for Spickelmeyer Insurance Agency. I was paying too much for car insurance, paying for things I didn't need. My friend John Spickelmeyer fixed all that for me with impeccable customer service. For all your car insurance needs, call John at 471-7155.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Life is about choices and the decisions you make. I'm David Robbins with Epstein & Robbins. If you're convicted of a DUI, you'll have to face severe consequences. Walking through the doors of the courthouse or appearing at a bond hearing can be extremely intimidating. Without the right lawyer, you're likely to make the wrong decision. Let our team help you make the right decisions in court. Epstein & Robbins, the right choice.
Epstein & Robbins, fighting for your rights since 1975.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about not being afraid of the crosses of life. Life can be difficult. Maybe today you're carrying a cross of worry or stress. Let me encourage you to remember that when Christ got on the big cross at Golgotha, he destroyed all the little crosses that we face in our life. He set us free from fear, worry, and anxiety. Our job is not to be carried by the cross, but to be carried by our faith.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
Did you know the 2023 Honda CR-V Hybrid never needs to be plugged in? The onboard system charges the batteries for you. When you think Honda, think hybrid. Good for the environment, great for your budget. Visit your local Honda dealer to experience the CR-V of the future today.
This is Dr. Chris Swanson. When your sports injuries flare up, come where athletes are treated like pros. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This is Verlin Dormany, head coach and athletic director of Trinity Christian Academy. We're proud of our relationship with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Take it from us at Trinity Christian. When you need orthopedic care, call on Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Whether you're in need of a simple AC repair or it's time to upgrade your HVAC system, Duck Air Conditioning is here to help. Give us a call today to schedule an estimate, 904-862-6769, or online at duckac.com.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Taylor Dahl for 1010XL. Florida Gators announced the balance of its upcoming season non-conference men's basketball schedule. Florida tip off their season hosting Loyola on Monday, November 6th. Gators play 6 Power Conference opponents, 4 neutral sites, and 1 on the road. November 17th will be against in-state rival Florida State. 5 opponents will mark the first time meeting in series history. And the ACC kickoff begins tomorrow as Florida State looks forward to an exciting season in Tallahassee. USA Today announced Florida State as one of its nominees for its 10 Best Reader's Choice Awards for Best College for sports fans. Noles have a collection of teams across 20 sports since 2014, as Noles have led all ACC teams in average viewership. It's 90 degrees at 2 o'clock. Time and temper brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Mondays on XL Primetime, brought to you by Mokama. Check out their great craft in the tap room at Fernandina Beach.
Is that Michael Jackson for Dave Campo? Is that what that's all about, JJ?
I wanted to get up and moonwalk
right.
for a minute.
Just a little bit too.
You know, I was right. I was in the first Super Bowl, 92, he was the halftime entertainment.
Really?
And we were used to having 12-minute halftimes. Well, that was a half-hour halftime. So we got in, and we were done in 10, 12 minutes. I came walking out. I stood 15 feet from the stage when he was going through his stuff. Unbelievable.
15 feet?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was right next to the stage.
Who was the Gator kicker?
At that time. I was a secondary coach, so I wasn't in the box.
The Bengals / Gator kicker. Yeah, he got in trouble because he watched the Snoop Dogg.
Right.
I think it was Snoop Dogg. The halftime show basically during the Super Bowl.
So you got 15 minutes of Michael Jackson.
I did.
15 feet away from you.
Oh, yeah.
So literally from me to the wall, you were that close
absolutely.
to him.
I was right there just standing there watching it.
Was it good?
He was good. I tell you what, I'm not that's not my natural type of music.
Right.
But he was fantastic.
The performance,
And that's what gets me about all concerts. When I watch concerts, I can watch anything because I love the way the performers change the audience up,
right,
down,
rises
up,
and falls.
Down.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So, but it was great with him because he was such a legend,
I'll take you to a Kiss concert.
I was going to moonwalk when that came on, but.
I'll take you to a Kiss concert one time. Maybe even throw some makeup on you too. All right. So last segment, right as we finished, I wanted to talk about Cam Robinson. I want to get into this real quick before we talk about camp battles. So Cam is suspended for 4 games, obviously because of, I guess it's an illegal substance. All right, is what it was, right, Jay? Isn't that what it was? Illegal substance.
Yeah.
Correct? Yeah. All right.
I'm not sure what it was.
Trying to get on the field quicker.
Could have been a steroid. It could have been something to block, the steroid from testing positive.
So my point is, these guys all know this. When you're using that stuff to help you recover, the first thing you do is you go to your sports and nutrition guy, and you say, "Is this clear from NFL with NFL policy?"
Right.
That's the very first thing you do if you try something new. That's not part of what you typically get. You go to the sports and nutrition guy and say, "Is this clear? Okay, is this?" And I shouldn't say clear because clear is not good. Is this okay under NFL policy? Now, I don't know what he was arguing to why it shouldn't have been. He should have been suspended. But at the end of the day, if you simply go to your guy and say, "I might go with this," and if they say no, then no is it.
Yeah.
All right. So now under that idea. And like I said, we all know that Trent Baalke loves Cam Robinson, and I'm sure Doug Peterson does too. Is there not part of him that's a little upset that he put himself in position to cost the team 4 games with him playing and put them in an uneasy spot right now?
Yeah, I'm speaking from my experiences now. When I would say, Matt, that it irritates the coaches more than the players.
Right.
The coaches look at it like, how could this guy be so
selfish,
stupid and selfish
to
do this? Players are much more concerned about their relationship with the rest of the guys and all that stuff to really get that upset with that. And I don't know for sure. Either he wasn't very smart doing it by not doing what you just said, or he did it on purpose, figuring he can get through it and be able to do it. I don't know that. But I just know I never was in that situation, but I know from holdouts. We were really upset with Emmitt Smith when he held out after a Super Bowl year, held out for 2 games, and we lost them both.
See, you were.
Yeah,
the players
exactly.
were not.
But the
players
were
fine with it.
It was fine. I mean, that's, that's part of it. It's part of, and that's a little different because it is part of trying to get what you deserve.
Right.
As opposed to what you're saying about using an illegal substance. But it's just a different feeling when it's your teammate.
Right.
You welcome them back. That's how it works. But as a coach, I'd be burned up, I can tell you that.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. There's only 53 guys in that locker room. So it's a rare group, like a unique
you're
group
more
of people,
of a family atmosphere, and the coaches are part of the family, but they're really not when it comes right down to it. That's why, for example, when a head coach goes into a meeting his first year, the first thing he's trying to do is find out who the guys are that he would call a champion.
Right.
Somebody that's going to talk the same language as he does.
Right.
because they're going to listen to the guy talking the same language as I am more than they're going to listen to me.
Right.
That's just the nature of a team, of a group of athletes.
Right. All right, Joe is on his way to Charlotte for the ACC meetings. We're going to be talking a lot more college football tomorrow and throughout the week. Obviously, with camp beginning Wednesday, we've got you here now. I want to talk about camp battles. So let's start at the top of the offense. Look, Travis Etienne is the starting running back. I don't think that's any question. He's there. However, could Tank Bigsby give him a little motivation to kind of like sharpen things a little bit? Because it's not like he's a finished product, Travis Etienne.
Right.
He's got to hold on to the ball.
Right.
He's got to learn how to not absorb such big hits. Can Tank Bigsby be that type of guy that can push him a little bit?
I think so. Looking at the depth chart, there wasn't much there. That's why they went out and got Ernest Johnson. You say, okay, we're going to get more guys in the room that have a chance to do some different things, take some snaps off of ETN, those kind of things. But to take a guy in the third round, that's a wake-up call in my mind for ETN.
For ETN, really?
Exactly. I mean, I think ETN knows what he can do, and he knows he's got to get better. But that's just a little bit of a shove in my mind that you're spending that high a pick on a guy at my position. So, listen, battles like that are what make a team, in my opinion. The competitive nature of guys is, I want competition. I don't want to just be the guy that's just going to stand out there and do it. I like that.
So that third-round pick then wasn't so much supplementing ETN, which it is supplementing, certainly, but it was also, you think, hey, let's light a fire into this guy.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of he was maybe the best guy on the board. He has a little different skill set than the guy that's
he can push the pile.
Guy.
Yeah.
So it's a combination of those two things. But I think competition is what it's all about. That's why I have a problem with the collective bargaining agreement cutting the amount of time you can practice with these guys. Because to me, competitive practices is what makes a team get better.
Right. Okay, let's look at the receivers. And when I say receivers, I'm adding the tight ends in there because Ingram is a flex. There's no doubt about it. You can look at whatever you want. He's a flex.
Yep.
Brenton Strange is your true tight end.
Right.
You look at you've got a legit 5 guys there. 3 of them receivers, obviously with Christian Kirk, Calvin Ridley, and Zay Jones. But the next 2 receivers, my guess is they'll keep 5, right?
Yes.
All right.
would think so.
So then who among Jamal do you keep Jamal Agnew as a receiver or you keep him as a special teams guy? That's the question. Because then you're looking at Parker Washington, you're looking at Tim Jones, and there's a bunch of other rookies.
Yeah. I think the guy that's got the leg up is Washington. And if you're keeping 6 receivers, the 6th one is Agnew. Period. So to me, they're going to find – I don't think that they will count him in how many we're taking.
In the receivers, okay.
He's going to be like a kicker. Like
specialist / receiver.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But they're probably going to use him more at receiver than Parker Washington will be used at receiver.
Right.
But Parker Washington is a future. It's now and a future.
Right.
They took him in a position where they like him. And, Kirk is, the slot position is one that Kirk, I don't know, he's got one more year, right, after this one?
Yeah.
So they have to get a succession going.
If they don't restructure. Right?
If they don't restructure.
Right.
And so to me, I think that's going to be a pretty good battle because I think Tim Jones showed some things last year. I think that puts him into a battle with that group. But one of the things about receivers, Matt, as you know, I'm not telling anything you don't know, but that position is the one that you've got to have numbers in camp because soft tissue injuries
huge
and ankle injuries are abound with those guys, and so you got to make sure you've got a pretty good group all the way down through to even the last one, and it looks like to me in looking at them, and again, I haven't looked at the roster really recently. I knew the answer to this a month ago, but they've even got some different style guys.
Different
There's
size,
one receiver that's like 6'4". I can't remember his name, but they have some different styles to where they can, kind of mix and match a little bit.
And
so
you got Kevin Austin who can run.
Yeah,
Right,
and I think that'll be a little bit of a battle there for that fifth or sixth spot.
Okay, so we got to go to break. When we come back, I want to get into this whole, I don't even know if I want to call it nonsense about there's not enough balls in the offense, because there's always enough. It's just a matter of how they are proportioned to each player. We'll come back on the next side. It's XL Primetime.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. The summer.
It's summer, it's summer, it's summer
of 1010XL.
It's summer.
Now, the Florida Gator Report on 1010XL, brought to you by Darley's Plumbing.
Florida Gators announced the balance of its upcoming season non-conference men's basketball schedule. Florida tip off their season hosting Loyola on Monday, November 6th. Gators play 6 Power Conference opponents, 4 neutral sites, and 1 on the road. November 17th will be against in-state rival Florida State. 5 opponents will mark their first meeting in series history.
Hey folks, it's Frank Frangie, and I want to thank Coach Ellen and the team at Darley's for providing all the plumbing work for a brand new walk-off charities building that's being built. Being a San Souci guy, I've known the team at Darley's for years. They're a company I trust for my plumbing needs, and you can too.
Thanks for those kind words, Frank. At Darley's Plumbing, we don't just do residential house calls. We're your first draft pick for commercial business plumbing too. Darley's Plumbing, where quality counts.
This Saturday, witness the thunderous clash of 2 rugby league titans. Your ratified credit union Jacksonville Axemen take on the Tampa Mayhem at 6:30. Tickets start at $10 and free for kids under 13. Details at jacksaxemen.com.
Join the face painting fun every Monday at the Ponte Vedra Woody's Barbecue, where kids eat free with a paid adult. Mondays from 6 to 8 at Woody's on Solano Road in Ponte Vedra.
At Woody's Barbecue, it's what we do.
Let's eat.
You will love your new custom windows and doors from Renewal by Andersen. For a limited time, get $289 off every window and $589 off all patio doors. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. Enjoy the beauty and quality that only Renewal by Andersen offers. This offer expires July 31st and restrictions apply. Renewal by Andersen, the official window and door replacement partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit rbafla.com. License number CGC 1527613.
Come to Bowden Eye for all your eye care needs. Hicken here. Did you know that dry eye disease affects up to 60 million Americans? Dry eye disease is known to progress. Dry eye disease is one of the most common but least diagnosed eye conditions doctors see in their patients. Many of us who have dry eye may not even feel it. At Bowden Eye and Associates, visit today for your personal consultation. Keeping the First Coast focused. Bowden Eye and Associates. New location now open off County Road 210 in St. Johns County.
Get closer to nature.
Trying to get close to these bugs out here.
Jeff Lageman, Captain Kevin Favor, and Captain Kirk Waltz. The Nimnicht Outdoor Show. Presented by Duck Duck Rooter. Every Saturday morning from 7 to 10 on 1010XL.
Denny Thompson here. Are you a home builder looking for a reliable low-voltage partner? Look no further than Tyson Sound and Security. They've been working hard with large and small builders for 15 years. Here's why they are the top choice. They will enhance your home buyer's home experience by offering custom home design appointments, and your budget stays intact while they deliver top quality services. Builders, send your plans over today to bid. Tyson Sound and Security, security and home automation experts.
For the past 5 years in Jacksonville, J-Dog Junk Removal has been on a mission to put veterans back to work. They have successfully helped over 40 veterans find meaningful employment, and they're not stopping there. Their goal is to reach an astounding 75 veterans employed by the year 2025, all in our local community. J-Dog Junk Removal, veteran-owned, veteran-operated.
Does your home or building need painting? For over 20 years, Performance Painting has had the privilege of preserving many of Jacksonville's most prominent buildings. That said, we feel like we're just getting started. I'm Jason Parker, and our team thrives on preparing, protecting, and preserving the homes, businesses, and public buildings that make up our local landscape. Contact us today to put our years of experience to work for you. Performance Painting, prepare, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting.
Are you a meat lover searching for quality cuts?
Southern Steer Butcher uses a vacuum tumbler to marinate and tenderize our chicken and world-famous steak tips.
Now open in Ortega. For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
Malfunctions in your electrical panel can lead to hazards like fire or power outages, leaving your home at risk. So leave it to the pros and Mr. Sparky.
888-8 Your on-time electrician, Mr. Sparky of the First Coast.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Yeah, it's there's no sense of competition or ego within our room. I've never had that, and I will never carry that. But I will say, it's not new to me. When people say that stuff, it's not new. But I show up to work and try to be as best as I can for this football team, and whatever we can do to help win football games. And at the end of the year, if we're holding up, a Super Bowl trophy, I could care less if I'm receiver 1, 2, or 7. As long as I'm there and I have a part in getting that, that's the ultimate goal. So it's just you blocking out the noise. But I think from our aspect, me and Calvin, that'll never be a thing in our room, and I appreciate about him.
Mondays on XL Primetime, brought to you by Mocama. Check out their great craft in the tap room at Fernandina Beach.
You haven't lived till you've seen a Kiss concert, okay? I'm going to have to get you to a Kiss concert. There's no doubt about that.
That's not my style.
That's not your style?
No.
All right, that was
I don't even like the looks of them, let alone what they sing.
That's Christian Kirk in an exclusive one-on-one with our Hayes Carline, talking about the no egos in the room, which is a perfect segue to what I wanted to talk to you about, Coach. So this entire offseason we've been talking about there's not enough balls in the offense to keep everybody happy. Number one, do you believe in that concept, which I 100% don't? And I'll tell you why I don't, okay? I don't believe it because at the end of the day, you're trying to score points. And just because you've added a guy, it doesn't mean the other guy's not going to be as important. And also, because you've added a guy, a legit number one guy, you've also got the rest of those guys now their game is now going to be pushed. Like we talked about Tank Bigsby, lighting a little fire under Travis Etienne. What kind of fire does Calvin really, and look, we just heard Christian Kirk tell our own Hayes Carline that there's no egos and everything will be fine. But how could that not light a fire under those guys to be their best? So that's one positive. And two positive. And the second thing is this. Look, you're throwing the ball on offense, right? You might expand from 28 throws a game, 28.7 to 33.5. So there might be, 5, 6 more chances to catch a ball. But at the end of the day, the guy who's performing most is going to get the balls. It's not the guy. It's not like, there's not enough around. It's whoever's performing at the highest level, right?
Absolutely. If I'm a receiver, I'm going to force Trevor Lawrence to throw me the ball. And the way to do that is to get open, because there's no question that if you might have a favorite or you might have a insurance policy like Ingram, for example, tight end, can get open, okay? The rest of the guys, we got a guy that's coming in here that's got a chance to take some of my catches. I better get myself going and get open. And that's the competitive part of it. The thing I like about this team, though, is I think that's, you can say, well, that's what else is he going to say? No, we're going to be burned up because, they should want to just win.
Right.
And, of course, obviously they want themselves to do well. Well, then show it. It's the ladder system. If you're at the top of the ladder, then you're going to get balls. Then get on up there. Start climbing. And I think it's a competitive situation. And I think I like this team because I think really, in all honesty, that's the kind of feeling in the locker room right now. They haven't had enough success yet to start worrying about egos. Right now, they're still a team that's on the rise.
Right.
And egos are not in teams that are on the rise. Egos develop in teams that are already there.
Right.
That's when you have to deal with it. And a perfect example is the Jimmy Johnson, Jerry Jones thing. You know, the first 2-3 years till we got to that first Super Bowl, it was perfect together.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, egos started to come in to see who was the did the most.
So it reminds me of when I went out to Washington State to spend some time with Mike Leach, and I remember him going in the wide receiver room. And there was, murmurs about, I'm not getting the ball, and Weisengardner meant you getting me the ball. He's a new quarterback here. He doesn't know how things work. And Leach literally just looked at them and said, you want the ball? Get open. Simple as that.
Leach and I have the same philosophy. Just get open and you'll get the ball, because I can promise you the quarterback is trying to complete balls.
Right, he doesn't care where it's going,
right?
right?
It doesn't matter who it is. Now, again, somebody can be his favorite because he gets himself into position and he knows where he's going to be. He's going to run the route correctly.
And he knows he's going to catch
steps
it.
And he's going to catch it when it goes there.
Yes.
That's the bottom line. And I think this football team is at the point where that's not going to be an issue. Now, will it become more? Like I said, as they get better, I think sometimes egos creep in then. But right now, I'm looking forward to everybody catching balls.
All right, we need to go to a break, but I want to make this point real quick, and I want to see your part of it. Is the idea that Evan Ingram, he gets this contract, and now his catches are going to go down because there's more talent around him now. Look, at the end of the day, a quarterback will throw to a guy in critical situations because he knows the guy will run the route to the exact step, will gain separation, and here's the key, will catch the ball when it's thrown to him.
Absolutely.
So if he knows Evan Ingram will run the route to the exact step, will be there, and will catch it, he's not going anywhere. Those balls aren't going anywhere, right? Other than there.
And the one thing that's going to be interesting to me about Evan Ingram, and I think I know the answer already, is when I go to training camp, am I going to see him over there catching balls from the quarterbacks when they're warming up, when he's not involved in any special teams situations, which he's not.
Right.
Because that's what, in my mind, stuck with me from the very first day of practice last training camp. You've heard me say it. His thing was that he was dropping some balls. He's over there catching balls. He didn't have to do that.
Right.
They have interns over there catching the ball from the quarterbacks, but he was over there.
He wants to work.
At the end of the practice, he was there catching tennis balls. I want to see that now that he's got a contract for 3 years at good money. That's going to be interesting to me.
Does he
now,
still
I think
invest in the craft?
I think I already know the answer. I think I'm going to see him doing that because I think he knows that's what the reason he got the contract.
Well, none of that. That's what made him a better player
That's
last
what
year
I'm saying.
as well.
That's why he got the contract. Yeah.
All right,
exactly.
one more segment to go. We'll come back and wrap this pup up. It's XL Primetime.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL. You can listen to 1010XL on your smart speaker.
Alexa, play 1010XL.
In fact, any speaker that plays 1010XL
1010XL
is pretty smart.
This is Keith Catlin for Catlin Truck Accessories, and we are so blessed to be in business for over 100 years. Over 100 years of the best product and customer service means you can count on Catlin. From Roll-and Lock bed covers to Lear toppers to cam locker toolboxes, Catlin Truck Accessories has you covered when it comes to your truck or van. We do those too. Got a fleet of vehicles? We can outfit them all.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
One name, one location, 100 years. You can count on Catlin.
Hey, Matt Hayes here. Are you suffering with chronic pain and looking for the tools to end your pain and allow you to do the things you want to do? Then search no further. The YAS method for pain-free movement establishes the cause of pain and has found in 98% of the cases that cause is muscular. With 3 to 4 specialized strength training exercises that you perform and are taught to do on your own, you will end your pain and reclaim your life. No surgery, no pills, no needles. Call Dr. Yas at 904-906-YASS or schedule online at livewithoutpains.com. And listen to the Pain-Free Living Hour with Dr. Yoss, Sundays at 10 a.m. on 1010XL.
Did you know that many cooling companies are now part of big conglomerates with no connection to Northeast Florida? In the past, they have concentrated on heating and air conditioning, but after a buyout, many add plumbing and electrical services. This raises their overhead, and those costs are passed on to the consumer. It's a case where bigger isn't better, it's just more expensive. Not Mike Merritt's Heating and Air. Mike Merritt remains family-owned and operated. Merritt's focus has been the same for more than 30 years, keeping Northeast Florida comfortable, no matter what the weather. And there are no overtime or weekend surcharges. Mike Merritt's team does not work on commission. They repair only what needs repair and offer replacements only on what can't be fixed. And unlike at giant corporations where you can feel like just another number, with Mike Merritt, you'll feel like number one. Florida license CACO 50384.
Ackerman Urology is now servicing the Beaches community. If you have elevated PSA, prostate, bladder, or kidney issues, plan to see the experts at Ackerman Urology right away at the new location on Atlantic and Hodges Boulevard.
If your lawn is not as green as you'd like, it's time to go orange by calling Orange Environmental Services, Jacksonville's highest quality pest control for over 45 years. Frank Frangie here. I've trusted Orange Environmental to take care of our home's pest control needs for years. With the Orange Shield Protection Plan for your home or office, you can relax knowing Orange Environmental will handle pest control, termite control, and mosquito control. Orange Environmental has been giving Northeast Florida peace of mind from bug problems since 1972. Call them today at 272-3284.
Yeah, they're all women.
I can't believe we're doing this. This is the kind of thing they do in the movies.
It's a little different.
Does this work?
But relax, it's still a sports show.
Helmets and heels.
Driven by Tire Outlet.
And presented by Underwood Jewelers.
Tuesday nights at 6.
On 1010XL.
Listen for the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Rehabilitation House Call in the Frangie Show this Friday. They'll tell you about their new Atlantic Rehab location and how to lessen the chance of heat exhaustion. JOI, where the pros go.
If you're looking for exterior solutions that provide you reliability and durability, it's time to call Armor Guard Exteriors. Whether you need seamless gutters or gutter protection, hurricane products, impact windows, glass lanais, or retractable awnings and screens, we've got you covered. Call My Home Team today for your 5-star experience at 904-906-8669.
Armor Guard Exteriors, committed to quality, and that's a promise.
Players Grill Mandarin will be open for business July 27th at 11 a.m. Grab the family and get to Players Grill Mandarin for the official opening and try the best tasting wings you've ever had. Players Grill, where the neighborhood meets.
It's the Big One sales event going on now at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Mia here, and buy a pre-owned 2019 Toyota Corolla for just $1,000 down and $288 per month. Or you choose a pre-owned 2020 Camry, RAV4, or Tacoma for just $1,000 down and $388 per month. Arlington Pre-Owned has over 400 used cars in stock and more than 100 vehicles under $18K. You even get 30 days to love your pre-owned purchase or exchange it for one that you do. Shop the Big One sales event, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard and arlingtontoyota.com.
Are you drowning in credit card debt? Want to get cash out of your home's equity? Loan Pronto can now do it in less than a week. Hey, it's Prosser here, and that's right. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit just got even faster. You can get $50,000, $100,000, or even $200,000 in as little as 5 days. And you don't even have to touch your primary mortgage, so you can keep that 3% rate intact. Just get the money you need and pay off all those credit cards, or get that home improvement project started. With this revolutionary program, you can access up to 90% of your home's value, and in most cases, there's no appraisal. Stop paying insane interest rates to the credit card companies and get tens or even hundreds of thousands in cash in as little as 5 days. Call Loan Pronto now for the even faster Equity Express line. 904-999-1508. LoanPronto.com or 904-999-1508. That's 904-999-1508. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's Mocama Monday on XL Primetime. Head to the tap room at Fernandina Beach every day that ends with Y and enjoy some Mocama.
All right, one more segment to go here in XL Primetime. Matt Hayes, the coach, Dave Campo. Joe's on his way to ACC Media Days in Charlotte. Mia's on vacation. She'll be back later in the week. All right, one more segment. Let's go to the defense, which, honestly, Dave, if you start looking at this defense, you really break it down, you might get one or two opportunities in camp to see like starters being pushed for starting jobs. We'll go over that. Other than that, it's going to be very intriguing in the second and third team guys. So I think Chad Mooma's got a chance to push Devin Lloyd. I want to get your thoughts on that. I just think that I realize that Devin Lloyd is clearly the guy. If you look at a guy that can run, a guy that's athletic, a guy that can run laterally, although, Mooma can too. Lloyd is a guy that can make big plays. It's going to be fun to watch because Mooma's not going to give up. There's no way he's giving up that easily. So I want you to talk about that. And also the slot corner with Trey Herndon, who I think we were all shocked that they didn't spend a higher pick on a corner in the draft and that they were basically just satisfied with be it Trey Herndon, be it Gregory Jr., and you think Buster Brown, he's not a slot guy, you think. He's an outside guy. So let's start there at the slot corner.
Okay. Well, first of all, I think they have a much, much higher opinion of Herndon than
we do.
Than we do looking from afar.
Right.
And I say all the time that they see him every day. They know what he does in the building. They know his mental capabilities and all those kind of things. And, obviously, in some situations, he's played pretty darn well. I mean, it wasn't like he just got torched.
Yeah, he has.
So, to me, I don't know that, in some situations when he gets somebody running man-to-man with him, does he have enough speed to really be a great one there? But as a zone player, he's smart, he's tough, he can tackle, he can do all those things. I don't know that there's a guy behind him that can push him, to be perfectly honest with you. They've had Gregory Jr. in there, and they've put some different guys in there. I think that I think he's got the position, and you could say it's by default, but again, I'm gonna go with the coaching staff on that. I mean, they see him every day.
Plus, Dave, and you can speak this because you coach DBs. If you're playing zone, those guys got to help them a little bit. Like when they're running those drags, those crosses, the linebackers got to scrape a little bit. You got to help him a little bit.
Oh no, the biggest problem we had last year, in my opinion, was
passing off,
crossing routes.
Right,
and that's just as much the linebackers as it is, the DBs. I could see them using a guy like the kid from the new draft choice safety.
Hallett?
No, not as a nickel now. Johnson.
Oh, Antonio Johnson.
Antonio Johnson.
Yeah.
I could see them using him as a seventh DB on the tight end side some because he'll have a much better feel for the box on third down and the passing, all that kind of stuff. I could see that, and I think he could handle a tight end. He's pretty physical. He can run. He moved better in practice than I thought he would. I thought he was a pure safety, and that's it. But so to me, the improvement of the inside linebackers is as big a deal as the nickel is.
Yeah.
Now, again, I think Devin Lloyd is going to make some improvement. He improved during the course of the year. He got better. And I think they can utilize him in blitzing and this and that. I think that's what puts him maybe ahead of Mooma. Because I think Mooma is more of a middle linebacker.
A true Mike.
He can run.
Yeah.
He can be physical. I think Lloyd is more of a free spirit kind of a guy. If he's ahead mentally, I think he's going to be the guy. And again, I think it can help if they're playing a lot of zone to have those guys, interchangeable. Use a DB as a seventh DB. There were times I said six DBs. Back in the day, Bill Bates was the seventh DB for us. He played middle linebacker in third and long, and he was a DB. So there's ways of getting guys on the field that can handle crossers better, and those are the kind of things that they'll be improving on because they'll know the scheme better.
So it's funny that you brought up Devin Lloyd, because that's the other competition I want to talk to you about. I agree. I think Muma is a true Mike. Like if they ran a 4-3, he'd be the perfect Mike for them.
Right.
I think he's a big tackling machine who can run. So he fills holes quickly. I'm not sure when you're running that out front, it's a different position, right? I mean, it just plays differently, does it? As far as instead of being like in an even front,
yeah,
he's the true Mike.
Yeah. And a true Mike is a guy that can go sideline to sideline, but he's an inside physical fit guy. They don't really. Muma's the only one of the three guys that they have there really
that fits
that position. Now in a 3-4, that guy is it's a different animal. You want guys that can move in there. Period.
Right.
And so I think Lloyd is the guy, to be honest with you.
So we talked about this all last season, that Lloyd looked quote unquote lost. Was he lost, or do you think he just wasn't comfortable in what they were doing?
Yeah, he was lost and not comfortable
with
what they were doing.
So both.
It's the same thing.
Right, so then,
to me.
So then how do you as a coach, how do you teach him?
Well, first of all, I think they put him on the sideline a little bit during the course of the middle of the year. And I think sometimes when you're standing on the sideline and you're watching, you're learning. And if he's that kind of a guy, which I believe he is, from what I understand from him, he's a coachable kid. And, and remember, he missed most of training camp. We just talked about with Leon how missing training camp is a big deal.
Right.
He was lost early, and I think he got better as the year went on. I think with another year of OTAs and another training camp, if he's healthy and he's ready to go, I've seen him play.
Right.
I coached against him at Utah when I was at SC. The kid is an instinctive player that is an athletic player. And so now you can utilize a lot with him as far as blitzing, bringing him off the edge, on the zone blitzes, bringing him around the corner, try to get him one-on-one with a back. He's going to win those battles. So to me, I think it's all about the mental aspect of the game. It's not physical. Physically, he's ready to play. He's a first-round draft pick.
Right.
But mentally, he improved during the year. Hopefully, he's going to make that same improvement this year.
When he was at Utah, a lot of what they did was pressure.
Yeah.
And he was in a situation where he was the pressure guy.
Right.
Even when he was playing linebacker, he's
Right.
the pressure guy. So we start talking about they feel better in year 2 with all these guys. You've said it.
Yep.
We've all argued it, that, the idea is you feel better the second year around with all these guys. And I look at that, obviously, these two positions we've been talking about actually fit in that idea of year 2 will be better, because if Devin Lloyd is more comfortable playing zone, he's going to help Trey Herndon.
Right.
If Aluakon is more comfortable with Lloyd playing zone,
right,
that will also help them.
Yeah.
As far as passing guys off, as far as scraping, as far as being comfortable in your spot,
right,
and not being out of position,
And
right?
I think that's a big deal. I really do. And that's why I think the defense is going to be better. I think they've got guys that are second-year, third-year guys that are playing into the scheme. And, watching them in OTAs, they ran a lot of zone blitzers, zone pressures. Well, that's Lloyd.
Right.
I mean, that's weak side. And that's also Trayvon Walker
right.
coming inside on
Right.
movement. And when he gets inside on movement on a guard, he's going to win that battle as well. So you got him coming inside. You got Lloyd scraping around on the outside. Those are the kind of things that I think they'll utilize Lloyd with, and it will help the front as well as far as pressure.
Awesome, brother.
All right.
Breaking it down. Our
Yeah,
coach, Dave
appreciate
Campo.
it.
All right. We'll wrap this thing up. We'll come back and say hello to the French Show.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser.
Yeah.
Is everything okay? We heard an awful ruckus.
No, everything's fine here. Yeah, it's great. So you're fine?
Mornings.
Yeah, couldn't be better.
On 1010XL.
The Internal Revenue Service is reported to be receiving $80 billion in additional funding for the 2022 tax year for unpaid tax enforcement. There has never been a budget increase this large in the history of the IRS. All of this funding is for more revenue officers and collecting delinquent taxes. If you owe the IRS, you have a short time to get your tax issues resolved or face financial devastation. J. David Tax Law is right here in Jacksonville and provides tax relief for all personal payroll and sales tax problems. They've achieved thousands of successful outcomes for their clients, and that's why their reputation speaks for itself. If you have federal or state sales tax debt, do your research to see why J. David Tax Law is the most effective option to relieve your tax burden. Call J. David Tax Law at 904-507-4777. That's 904-507-4777 or at jdavidtaxlaw.com.
All Weather Contractors is a full-service multifamily and commercial construction company focused on building better careers. We're looking for experienced HVAC professionals to join our team now. If you're ready to make a fantastic living, apply today at allweathercontractors.com. We offer premium pay, bonuses, full benefits, 401k programs, employee stock ownership opportunities, and a culture focused on career advancements and opportunities. Build a better career in the HVAC industry. Apply online today at allweathercontractors.com.
This is head coach Matthew Driscoll from the UNF men's basketball team. When our players suffer an orthopedic injury, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists gets our players back on the court pain-free.
We appreciate the endorsements from our high school and college coaches. This is Dr. Kevin Murphy. The next time you need orthopedic care, you can rely on our team at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Hey, Matt Hayes here. Expert Automotive is now open at our brand new state-of-the-art facility on St. John's Bluff Road. As always, every repair comes with a lifetime service repair warranty. Come celebrate our grand reopening by getting a free AC inspection, $50 off any repair, $199 brake specials, and free diagnostics all month long. Call 374-3373 or visit us at our new location at 2190 St. John's Bluff Road. Expert Automotive. We never sell greed, only what you need.
Tired of the same old places for happy hour? Downtown's best is at Bellwether. It's Tuesday through Saturday from 4 to 7, with the exception on Friday when happy hour starts at 11 because why not? For all you late-nighters, Bellwether offers nightcap specials on Friday and Saturday from 9 to 11. Want a snack with your cocktail? Bellwether has a unique bar food spread. And guess what? All metered parking is free after 6 and weekends. That's Bellwether downtown.
Jacksonville is building a playoff beast on the First Coast.
Why can't it be us?
And feeding the beast happens before the season starts.
You keep grinding.
Follow the off-season with Tire Outlet and 1010XL. Tire Outlet. Wholesale prices, premium service.
Brian Wall here. Would you take your paycheck, go to the bank, cash it, and then simply throw it up in the air? I didn't think so. But in a way, over the years, that is exactly what you're doing if you have old or builder-grade windows in your home. Even if you have a brand new home, those windows are not the best windows you can have to save on your energy bills. Window World has sold millions of replacement windows to homeowners like you, and Window World's customer satisfaction is the highest in the business. Please check Window World out yourself and save on your new windows and on your energy bills. Compare with other companies and you'll see Window World is simply the best for less. It's up to you. You can call Window World and get a free estimate, get the best guarantee in the window replacement business, save money on your new windows, and save more on your energy bills. Call Window World today at 904-443-7001 or go online to windowworldneflorida.com. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
Did you know that High School 912 has impacted over 25,000 students in our community in the last 4 years? High School 912 focuses on taking a holistic approach to guide high school students and athletes through academics, sports, and life skills to increase opportunities of success after graduation. Now is the time to make a difference in a student's life. Visit jackshighschool912.com/give to help create a better tomorrow for our students. High School 912, changing students' lives one heartbeat at a time.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555, Jacksonville. Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Tire Outlet, keeping the sports world spinning with wholesale prices and premium service. Tire Outlet, Jacksonville's largest locally owned automotive repair shop.
Jay just got everybody checking out the new his new series, Gomorrah.
It's not new. It's like 10 years old, I think.
You got Dave Campa fired up about it.
Yeah, it's in Italian, so you have to read it.
Maybe we'll see what.
I highly recommend.
Let's see what Lauren Brooks' thoughts are on subtitles and series. And welcome in the Frangie Show. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm great, thanks.
What are your thoughts on subtitles and series?
Not my favorite thing. I don't want to have to work that hard.
Really?
Yeah. I'd rather just be able to understand it. But I mean, if it's really good, then you work through it.
So
but I don't like closed captioning in general.
Really?
You do?
I don't mind it if it's so. Let me say this: the best thing on Netflix is Narcos. It's unbelievable, and that's 3/4 of it is subtitles, but it's phenomenal. It's
so yeah, if it's worth it, then you work through it. But
yeah, it's also genuine at that point. Yeah, because then you don't have like a guy who looks Spanish speaking English.
Sure,
it's real then at that point. It feels real to you. So yeah, it's I don't mind at all. In fact, I kind of enjoy it.
I thought it was funny. I watched the Trayvon Walker 25-minute documentary about his hometown, Thomaston. And a lot of times they put subtitles, I think, because of the Southern accents. They want to make sure that everybody can understand them. But yeah, they do such a great job, the Jaguars digital team. So that was really enjoyable. If you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out. Frank had told me that I might cry, and I wasn't sure why. And then I watched it, and I said, okay, yep, I cried, and now I know why. But I'm not going to spoil it in case people haven't seen it. Yeah, it's good.
I'll have to watch it then.
You will watch it and enjoy it.
All right.
You will.
All
you
right.
must.
So
you shall.
The rookies are here. The vets arrive tomorrow. First day of practice Wednesday.
I'm so excited. I have not seen the Miller Electric Center yet because we were in Nashville when they gave the grand tour. So Wednesday morning, bright and early. I can't wait to see it.
Parking and everything. You won't have to walk 4 or 5 blocks to get to Episcopal.
That's right. Well, and
nice.
Last year, right, a lot of us had to carpool, or like Joe found a tattoo parlor where he was parking,
right.
And I think exchanged some goods and services for them. But yeah, this year we have parking, and it'll be fantastic.
All right, what do you got coming up?
We will talk a ton of Jaguars training camp, and we'll review the Open. A certain person on the show lost the Loser Monday bet. It was not me. Wow. So I am all smiles, and you'll have to stay tuned to find out who lost.
That's why there's been a pep in your step around
That's
the
right.
office.
I
Yes.
did not lose. That is correct. And I didn't even get advice from JJ since we were in Nashville. Normally I get advice on helmets and heels from JJ before golf tournaments or the like.
All right, good.
But yes, someone lost.
I would have said Brian Harmon.
Thank you, Lauren.
All right, thank you, Matt.
All right, Josie will be in Charlotte tomorrow for the ACC Media Days. He and Rick Ballou. So we'll get the update from the ACC, from Florida State, Miami, and everybody. We're going to get Mac Brown on the show. We're going to get Drake May on the show. So keep it here on the Superstation. You'll hear all the college football.
We're going to get Mike Norvell on the show. Come on, man.
We're going to get Mike Norvell.
He is.
I think we're going to
get the number one guest.
We're going to get Mario, too. I don't think there's any question about that. We'll get them all. Look, we got them all at the SEC. Guess what? We'll get them all at the ACC, too, because that's what we do here. All right, for Joe Coward, who's on his way to Charlotte, for Mia O'Brien on vacation, for Big Circe, and, of course, for JJ and Dave Campo, we'll see you tomorrow on XL Primetime.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealers Studios with XL Primetime on 1010.